Right, are we good? Are we live? I think we are. Hello all, and welcome back to the Football Chat Live. We are back for the Champions League action, or I should say I am back for the Champions League action. It's Bayern Munich versus PSG. Or no, the other way around, isn't it? PSG versus Bayern Munich. Very exciting game today. And yeah, Champions League's back now. Buzzing for it. I feel like the Champions League games are always more interesting than the Prem, because you never really know what's going to happen, especially when you get a game like this between two league leaders of differing leagues. But yeah, welcome to the stream, XZ, by the way. Great to see you in chat. Definitely missed you yesterday. It's a Merseyside derby. We really needed someone in chat to defend Darwin Núñez. But yeah, great to see you back now. Over 100 days ago was the last Champions League fixture. Interesting fact to start today's stream. Thank you again, XZ. Wow, I mean, you don't really think about that, but there is such a gap, isn't there, between the Champions League group stage and the knockouts. I mean, obviously that's extended because of the World Cup, I imagine. Because obviously the Champions League games had to be played sooner, so you wouldn't usually have that big gap. So potentially we could see a big difference, because usually the teams don't change too much from the groups to the knockouts. But I guess you've got a World Cup in there. Obviously January you usually have, but yeah, teams could be in completely different situations, completely different form. Potentially that'll have an impact. We could see a very surprising knockouts, considering the group stage teams are so much different from the group stages. But yeah, and also Milan vs Tottenham, very interesting. Yeah, we have got two games to keep our eyes on tonight. I'll be focusing on PSG Bayern, but of course we'll be keeping a close eye on AC Milan Tottenham. Both brilliant games. It was really a toss-up between the two. Tomorrow night we've got such a toss-up between the Premier League game and the Champions League game. We are just going to cover both. So yeah, I think that's the first time we've ever done that. It should be very exciting. So yeah, we've got that tomorrow night, but for tonight it's PSG versus Bayern. And yeah, probably should get into some lineups. First of all, though, 4 votes in the chat so far. 50% in favour of Bayern, 25% PSG, 25% draw. Milan are in terrible form. Tottenham just lost 4-1 to Leicester. Yeah, both Milan and Tottenham are both in horrific form. So I think they'll both lose. Most probably. Anyway, as for the game we are focusing on, PSG versus Bayern. PSG line up with Donnarumma between the sticks. Flat 4 of Hakimi, Ramos, Captain Marquinhos and Nuno Mendes. No big surprises there. Midfield 3 then, when we do see a big surprise. Verratti, Danilo Pereira make complete sense, but 16-year-old Zaire Emery becomes the youngest player in a Premier League. Words, I'm really struggling tonight. Yeah, Zaire Emery becomes the youngest player to ever feature in a Champions League knockout stage. No Kylian Mbappe in the starting lineup. He will be coming off the bench if he is to be involved, but it's Carlos Soler in behind Messi and Neymar. So yeah, other than Wilson, Zaire Emery, there's not too many interesting picks there. It's a fairly normal PSG side, but obviously without Kylian Mbappe, it's a big miss. As for Bayern Munich then, they line up in their 3-4-3 with Jan Sommer between the sticks, replacing the injured Manuel Neuer. Back 3 of Pavard, of Upamecano and De Ligt. Right wing back, or I guess it's sort of a right wing back now, Leroy Sané. Left wing back, João Cancelo. Pivot of Goretzka and Captain Kimmich. On the right, Musiala. On the left, Kingsley Coman. And leading the line, it's Choupo-Moting. Still no Mane back in the side. That could have a big impact. I mean, Sadio Mane is a decent player, not a stunning player. Well, he was world class at one point. Right now, I wouldn't say he is, but yeah, he's still a very talented player. I'm also just quickly changing my UCL fantasy team because I have Leroy Sané in there, and I'm thinking he could be a potential drop because he plays a little deeper. Is it worth bringing in Coman? I might regret this, but I'm going to do it. Big UCL fantasy news. I haven't played too much UCL fantasy. I like to check the team though, so I think I'm going to back Coman because they have changed system now, Bayern. So I think it makes sense to switch that up. But yeah, we're only a few minutes away from kickoff. We will get into predictions in a moment. I'm just going to quickly change this. And there, yeah, make sure to get your predictions in chat as well, by the way, in the meantime. I want to hear from you guys. I know XZ has already put his prediction in there, which is quite the bold one, quite an interesting one. But yeah, make sure to put yours in there if you haven't already. And I'm going to captain Musiala for tonight. But yeah, in terms of predictions then. Oh, welcome to the stream, by the way. First, Ryan Tune with the classic Eiffel Stop. Great to see you, Ryan. But yeah, unfortunately, I'll miss, at the very least, the first half of tomorrow's stream. That is gutting, XZ. That's very good. All right. Well, hopefully you can join us for a bit of tomorrow. And, of course, we're live Thursday as well. So we're doing a lot of streams this week. It would be great to see you there. Top 4 will be a lot more interesting if Liverpool win on Saturday. A win would take them 6 points from Newcastle with a game in hand. Yeah. I mean, that could get very, very tight. We did talk a little bit about Liverpool on the podcast going out tomorrow, which is focusing on the title race. So, yeah, look out for that. So we just set that up to go out tomorrow tonight. So, yeah, should remember to do that. But yeah, top 4 could get very interesting. I feel like Liverpool should focus now on the Champions League. They've got not a lot left to play for in the Premier League. I know they can still get Europe, and I think they will. I think Liverpool and Chelsea, as much as people keep saying, I think they will both get European football. But yeah, I feel like the Champions League is a very good chance. Those three I'm interested in. Yeah, it's going to be a brilliant game. Hopefully, at least, between Barcelona and Manchester United. As for tonight, though, I am going to go, in terms of a prediction, I feel this PSG side is massively missing Kylian Mbappe. I know they're at home, but I think the lack of Mbappe will make a difference. I know he might be involved at some point tonight. That is why I'm going to go for them to score. But I think ultimately Bayern will win this first leg 2-1. As we have 2-1 win for Bayern, I will go for goals from Kingsley Coman and Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. That would be quality if he gets a goal against his former side, of course. And then Mbappe off the bench. I feel like if he does get involved, Kylian Mbappe will score at some point tonight. But yeah, it's a matter of whether he gets involved, because there's a good chance he isn't involved. Especially if PSG have control of the game. But you would imagine if they are losing, they will bring on their star man. I went for 3-3. Fair prediction, XZ. I think it's an interesting one. I just don't see 6 goals. But you never know. It's the Champions League, isn't it? Rogue things happen all the time. Welcome to the stream, Chelsea fan. Hi everyone. Hello, Chelsea fan. Great to see you on this fine evening. Of course, we do have Chelsea tomorrow. Chelsea versus Dortmund. It's going to be a very interesting one. As a Chelsea fan, I have to say, little apprehensive for it. But yeah, you never know. Hopefully we win, but it does just worry me a little bit, especially without Benoit Badiashile. But yeah, in terms of tonight's game, teams currently exchanging handshakes as we prepare for kickoff. Last time the teams met, it was a thrilling first leg 3-2 in one direction before a UCL final. This is a very weird season, I guess. Yeah, it's quite a weird season. But yeah, BT just currently going back over the lineups. I better ready myself to do the graphics again, which is the thing I always seem to get wrong when it's just me. But yeah, Champions League, very excited it's back. I think we're in for a very good match week tonight. Obviously, we've got this game and the Milan-Tottenham game. I didn't check the lineups, but I saw Danjuma was trending. But I don't know if he's starting or not. I just saw he's trending on Twitter. Premier League, the Banter clubs are in a title race, while Liverpool and Chelsea are in mid-table and flipping Brighton going for Champions League. Yeah, I know. They could do something very... But I still feel that Brighton will drop and Chelsea and Liverpool will get back into the top 6. Bundesliga actually has a title race. Yeah. Bundesliga is actually very competitive this year. Pretty much all of the top 8 are in it at the moment. Like, everyone could win the Bundesliga title. Very exciting times. But yeah, I feel with Manuel Neuer, I would be backing Bayern a lot more. I still am backing them to win, which is perhaps naive on my part, but yeah. Now, Sommer's still a good goalkeeper, or at least he was whenever he played against Bayern. But yeah, hasn't really shown it yet in a Bayern Munich shirt. Does watch off the bench tonight as well. Bayern are quite weak. I know they've got Matthias Tell and Thomas Müller. Other than that, though, there's not really much on the bench that excites me. PSG, the big man on the bench is Kylian Mbappe, which is definitely an option. I do feel this PSG squad could do with one more player, and I think that player was Hakim Ziyech. So they'll be very gutted to have missed out on him. But yeah, and a very nice touch here from UEFA. We're together with Turkey and Syria. The players gather around the centre circle for a moment's silence in honour of those who lost their lives in the earthquake in Turkey. So a very nice touch that from UEFA. But yeah, after this we will then get into what should be a very exciting game. I got confused by the graphics. Oh, the João Cancelo. Right. No, yeah, João Cancelo is starting. Tottenham win 2-1. Oh yeah, get your predictions in for that one as well. I should probably do a prediction for that. It's in Milan, isn't it? I'll go 1-0 Milan. Tottenham own goal. Eric Dyer will head it in his own net. Something like that. Yes, they lost 4-1 to flipping Leicester, but AC Milan last one on January the 6th, and even then it was against Salernitana. Yeah. Yeah, maybe Tottenham will win, but I just pray they don't. I really do, because I can't handle Tottenham beating Milan and then us, getting battered by Dortmund tomorrow. X are going 3-2 Dortmund. You're going for very high scoring games, X said. But yeah, about to get underway here in the Champions League. I will quickly sort out the graphics and we'll get into what should be. I think this is the most exciting, other than Liverpool Real, in my opinion. I think it's probably a bit more exciting, just because Liverpool are over the place. And the fact it was the last year's Champions League. So I think that's just a little more exciting. But this is probably one of the most exciting ones. Definitely second behind that one. But yeah, camera's focusing on Warren Zaire-Emery, the 16-year-old, born March 2006, starting in the Champions League tonight. But yeah, we're about to get underway here. Leroy Sané, I believe that is, from a distance. I can't really tell. About to get us started. Just waiting for the referee, taking his time. Checking his watch 5 times now. And now he's happy for us to get underway, and we are underway here at the Parc de France. I believe that's what it's called, to get started the Champions League round of 16 stage. Obviously, we do have the first legs this week and next, then the second legs in March. I'm buzzing the Champions League is back. Over the next 5 weeks, we've got 8 Champions League streams. So yeah, very exciting times. And hopefully definitely some Europa League streams this and next week, maybe some after that. Choupo-Moting, by the way, has fashioned himself an opportunity here. Gets a shot away at goal, and it's not far away at all. Choupo-Moting's better just open the scoring a few minutes in there. Cuts inside here on his right foot, works his way through a few players, and the effort isn't too bad. I mean, he should be a little closer to the target, but it's not a bad effort at all, that, from Choupo-Moting. Tottenham early dominance over AC Milan. Yeah, please do keep me updated on that one, chat, because I'm very interested to see how that plays out. One watcher is the game, the other is Jack. Thank you, Xset. But yeah. Choupo-Moting, I'm gutted he didn't score that. Looked like a great opportunity. Bayern come forward again, though. Early part of this, first minute, Bayern all over PSG. They do now manage to get it away, though. Donnarumma pumping it long. And if Meccano makes a mistake, Neymar tries to pounce on it, but if Meccano makes up for it, smashes it back to Jan Sommer, Bayern can breathe a sigh of relief. I do just feel without Mbappe, mistakes like that go unpunished. Kylian Mbappe pounces on that, and Kylian Mbappe gets up the line and it's a goal. But yeah, I don't know if that'll be the same with Neymar and Messi. Obviously, fantastic players, but I feel like you need that explosive forward in Kylian Mbappe who will make the difference. We've seen it so many times in Champions League knockouts. Bayern coming forwards now, by the way. Cancelo, Sané. But yeah, we've seen it so many times how he can completely change a tie by himself. He's pretty much won France the World Cup. I know it's not a Champions League, but it's still a massive knockout competition. World Cup final, we almost won France the World Cup single-handedly. But yeah, when he scored 3 goals in that final. Anyway, Kingsley Coman switches the play here. Cancelo in a bit of space, chests it down. On his left foot, lovely dink ball inside. It's just beyond the run of Choupo-Moting, though. Knocks it out of play for a PSG goal kick. But already Bayern starting to show their dominance, or assert their dominance in this game. I feel like PSG really struggling for an outlet. They're getting over on the midfield. The way Bayern set up, they're able to just get a lot of men forward and put a lot of pressure on instantly. And here, Danilo Pereira is surrounded. Ramos doesn't really have an option out. Able to pick out Zaire-Emery. As that? No, the ball falls between Zaire-Emery and Achraf Hakimi. It's out for a Bayern throw. I argue that should be a yellow card there for Warren Zaire-Emery. Just booting the ball away. Bit of a weird moment, 3 minutes in, but time wasting from the off, I guess. Kingsley Coman. I've made a wrong call, by the way, in my UEFA fantasy team. I thought it was going to be Sané right wing back and Cancelo left wing back. Turns out it's Coman left wing back. So I binned off Sané for a left wing back. Brilliant call from me there. Letting Cancelo go was a gamble from City. Yeah, 100%. I don't really understand it unless you've got a lot of confidence in Sergio Gomez. Because if they were to switch to a fullback, I guess they've got Nathan Ake can play there as well. Bayern did try to come forward there, but it's out of play now for a Bayern throw. PSG look quite astute defensively so far. I don't think astute's the right word, but they've done well to just remain regimented and not allow Bayern too much space. Kingsley Coman throws it in. Sane tries to touch it to Musiala. It doesn't come off. Well won that from Warren Zaire-Emery. Messi goes down under challenge. And that's going to be a free kick for PSG. If I was a manager of City, he'd really have to do something for me to get rid of him. Well, he doesn't fit the City system. I don't know if he's done anything. I think what's happened is Pep's gone, this is my system. Cancelo don't fit in it, mate. Cancelo's kicked off because he's not getting minutes. Pep's gone, all right, you can leave there, mate. And he has. Imagine how that's gone down. The Pep system's interesting. He obviously sees something in it that works. If not, he wouldn't be so stubborn with it. So I'm intrigued. I really do feel that City are going to click at some point. And when that happens, everyone else should be fearful, because when something works for Pep Guardiola, it will really work. Anyway, PSG lose possession on this left-hand side as a Bayern throw here. Deep in their own half, though. It's not really creating any chance, but possession is now back with the Bundesliga toppers. Cancelo. I don't know why I said toppers, I meant leaders, but toppers works as well. Here is Kingsley Coman. Tries a little bit too much, almost caught out in possession by Hakimi. De Ligt now. I feel like I've not really heard anything of De Ligt since he joined Bayern Munich. Well, really since he left Ajax. He didn't do anything at Juventus, and now he's part of probably the worst Bayern team of the last decade. I think it's kind of a given, considering this is the only one that's not dominated the league. Any game without Harry Maguire is not the same. I'm missing that magic. Yeah, fair enough. Darkalo. Onto the stream, by the way, but yeah, got to love it, Harry Maguire. We will be watching Harry Maguire on Thursday night, hopefully. I could see him starting, and we have got a goal in the other game, by the way. AC Milan 1, Tottenham 0. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter how bad you are. If you play Tottenham, you could win 5-0. Look at Leicester. Tragic in the run-up to that game, and then they go and win 4-1. And it's happened now. AC Milan haven't won a game since the 6th of January. They get Tottenham, and they're 1-0 up after 7 minutes. Unsurprising, that. Ever since Salah turned Cancelo in October, he's not been on the best form. No. Well, City haven't either. I don't think that's helped him, but yeah, Brahim Diaz has scored that goal for Milan. Thank you for the update, Exed. But yeah, wow. That is so Tottenham. If you had to ask me to define Tottenham, just that. This exact game and all the context behind it. The fact that, AC Milan haven't won since the start of January. We're now in the middle of February, and yet they're playing Tottenham and they're 1-0 up after 7 minutes. But yeah, I'm already starting to think I've chosen the wrong game to watch here, but no, I do think PSG Bayern, once it gets going, will be a cracker. Good ball forward from Kimmich, loses out though. And now PSG will look to hit on the counter. Lionel Messi releases Zaire-Emery, has Neymar ahead of him. Can't quite get it to Neymar. It's well dealt with by Cancelo. And Jan Sommer is appealing that's offside. I feel it might have been. To be fair, it looked like Neymar timed his run well. Apparently, he may not have. But Bayern quite leisurely playing out from the back here, not under a lot of pressure. And yeah, here's Matthias de Ligt. Upamecano. I feel this Bayern back three is way too compact. They're pretty much on top of each other right now. Sane. Back to Upamecano now. And now it's with Coman coming down this left. Releases Sane. Can they get a ball into the box? Definitely options in there. If he can find a route to the box. Coman. Searching for the back post with his delivery. Headed away by Kimpembe, I believe it was. No, Nuno Mendes, sorry. Kimembe's not even starting. Dirk-Low. Do you think Messi will move to Saudi Arabia? I don't think it's off the cards. I mean, it definitely could happen. It depends whether he's content with what he's achieved in football. I think he will be. I think Lionel Messi will leave PSG at the end of this season. Whether he wins the Champions League or not. If he wins the Champions League, most certainly. If he doesn't, then what is he going to achieve in football? Because I think this is PSG's best year. I think this could be one of the... Well, I think every team's pretty much on a level playing field right now, in that no one's having a good season. Bar Napoli, and I don't think they're a big enough club yet. The current leaders of the Premier League aren't in the Champions League. Manchester City are all over the place, which, to be fair, could benefit them because they can focus everything on the Champions League. And let's say for Chelsea and Liverpool, both in complete disarray in terms of league form, sat around 9th and 10th in the Premier League, that could benefit them, but also they're playing terribly, so they might just get knocked out. So I genuinely think this is PSG's best chance. Because even clubs like Bayern are in horrific form. Real Madrid, currently second in La Liga, haven't looked impressive recently, have got an injury crisis. Could see them losing to Liverpool in a couple of weeks. Here's Musiala, Koeman dinks the ball forward, Marquinhos heads away. Musiala, Choupo-Moting, can he feed the ball back through? It's Jamal Musiala losing out to Ramos, and now PSG can try and play out. Choupo-Moting wins it back, but it's back with PSG again. Hakimi under pressure. Marquinhos coolly deals with it though. Cleared up the pitch. Matthijs de Ligt does well to keep it on and now gives it back to Upamecano, and Bayern can rebuild from the back. I think Messi will either go to MLS or Barca. So that was going to be my thing. I think if he is, I could see him into Miami. I really could see it because I think here he can grow his social profile, much more significantly while still increasing his pay packet substantially, or at least remaining on a similar wage to what he's on at PSG right now. And obviously, he would be the best player there. But it's still a competitive league that's worth watching. Like I don't know anyone else in the Saudi Arabian division that isn't at Al Nazir. I've heard of Anderson Talisca and players like that, but with the MLS, you've actually got some players that play in to a decent standard, actually some decent players. So I think for Messi, a move to the MLS would be better than a move to Saudi Arabia. It depends what cares more about, money or playing to the highest standard possible. That was a poor pass though from Lionel Messi, so maybe the Saudi League would suit him. But yeah, Bayern throw in here. I've been quite impressed with Warren Zaire-Emery. For a 16-year-old, he has looked incredibly composed. I mean, I would be bricking it out there tonight, but he's actually looked incredibly good. Youngest player to ever feature in a Champions League game, Warren Zaire-Emery. Jacques Cancelo on the ball now. Kimmich. That is a Champions League knockout game, by the way, not just a Champions League game in general. Koeman. I don't know who holds the record for that. Could be someone we've heard of. Could be someone like Frank Vieira just stuck in for a random group game. Upamecano goes to Cancelo, lays it to Sane. Sane can't get to it before Ramos puts it out of touch. Back with Bayern now on this right-hand side. Trying to work out this number 5. Oh, it's Benjamin Pavard. That's it, isn't it? From him playing right centre half, I've been wanting to say Sula the whole time, but I know he plays for Dortmund. Upamecano, Cancelo. Can he deliver it? Gives it back to Pavard. Pavard, Cancelo. Inside to Musiala. Can't get it past Danilo Pereira. Jostling for possession with the Portuguese DM now. Pereira goes down. That is going to be a PSG free kick. Conte won't last too much longer at Spurs, in my opinion. The thing is, Darklo, I don't see why the benefits of sacking him right now. Yeah, Tottenham aren't playing particularly well, but they're 5th in the Premier League. And in terms of alternatives, there are no alternatives. Unless you're going to back someone like Bielsa. But Bielsa has said to other clubs, I want 6 months and I'll come in the summer. So Bielsa could be a really nice option because Conte's already said he's going to leave in the summer. Well, I think that's at least confirmed. Maybe not officially, but that's what's been rumoured. No, possession lost by Bayern in a higher radius offside anyway. But yeah, I think in terms of options right now, who do Tottenham look at? I think they're more likely to wait till the summer and bring in someone like Ruben Amorim or Kjetil Knutsen. Is that the... I think he's a Mainz manager, isn't he? Someone like that could be decent. PSG coming forwards now. Sergio Ramos making that drive forward. Messi spots Neymar though instead of the Spanish centre-half. Back to Lionel Messi from Neymar. Good challenge from Upamecano. Goretzka deals with it calmly, and now Bayern will play out on this right-hand side. Cancelo. Lovely dink ball forward. Sane tries taking it stride. Knocks it back. That's right, Musiala. Knocks it back. Kimmich. De Ligt. Now they can come forward, Bayern progressing down this left-hand side. Kingsley Coman on the ball. Back to De Ligt. Bayern slowed down there. I don't know what the reasoning for it was. They could have easily tried and hit him on the counter. Instead, they want to dominate. They want to camp in this PSG half, which sort of makes sense. It does leave them less exposed to a counter attack. But equally, if playing around the back, they lose possession, they then get done over instantly. But I guess that's how they like to play football. Coman evades the challenge of Hakimi, drives inside. Lovely ball through to Choupo-Moting, but he's not going to get there ahead of Marquinhos. And another good chance from Marquinhos sends it up the line. Back to Bayern now, though. Coman inside. Kimmich picks out a nice pass, finds Cancelo on this right-hand side. He could cross João Cancelo, does cross across the box, and it's allowed just to run across and out for a goal kick. So as a jinx, no silverware in ages. Yeah, how long's it been now? What, 15, 16 years? Something like that? 2007? I want to say was the last time they won that, and even that was the Carling Cup. So they can't win the Carabao Cup, they can't win the Premier League, you can imagine. What else is there for them to win? I don't see them win the FA Cup. Are they even still in it? Tottenham? Can't even remember. If they are, they're not going to win it. As they come forwards though now, Soler, Messi intercepted by De Ligt, and now Bayern could counter. Again though, they're happy just to play it slowly, though they have been dispossessed here. Leroy Sané losing possession. Marquinhos now knocks it out wide. Would you say Galtier's PSG plays better football than last season? I'll be honest, Darkler, I haven't watched enough. I can't really comment. I don't watch a lot of PSG. If I'm going to watch the French League, I'm going to watch Marseille. Or I quite enjoyed watching a bit of Lens this season. Rennes are also a really exciting team. So if I see a random BT kickoff that, if it's a random League on kickoff on BT, because they set them at really weird times, so that might just be like a 1 o'clock one. In which case I might throw that on for an hour before the 2 o'clock in the Prem. But yeah, seems like Rennes very exciting to watch, and Toulouse are also a very exciting team. But can't say I've watched much PSG over the last 2 years. But Galtier is a very good coach. We saw that at Lille. It was Lille, right? Yeah, saw that at Lille. Very talented manager. This is the hardest job in football. Like 100%. Maybe you could, excluding obviously, I imagine working with a team in liquidation or on the verge of extinction is probably a bit more difficult. But I think this is, in terms of the amount of different things you have to manage, in terms of the egos, not only of the players, but also of the Qatari officials. You've got to deal with the fact that you have the most expectation on you of any manager. Because if you don't win the league in any other league, you could be excused for, the competition was tough this year, but you played well, go again next season. If PSG don't win the league, that is viewed as a complete disaster. Because there is not another team in Ligue 1 that should be able to compete with them. I'd really like, the PSG approach doesn't work. Coman zips the ball inside, Ramos heads it away. Of just signing massive names on fat contracts for loads of money. They're like the three things you don't want to do. You don't want to overspend. You don't want to be stuck with players you can't ship. And you don't want massive egos. Or at least loads of them. But, yeah. That's their sole way of... That's a sole recruitment method. Really bizarre. Because if PSG, with the resource and the finance they have, decided to run their club properly and invest in talent and, build this brilliant young team and aim to win the Champions League in a couple of years. Because you could still dominate the French League. Instead, they buy these mega stars and then wonder why it doesn't work. We just stick a load of players that, are brilliant but don't all work together. It's a bizarre team. But yeah, they've definitely got some very talented footballers, don't get me wrong. And, we've seen some of them really excel for PSG, but overall, I think the PSG project has failed. Because they've not won a Champions League. And that seems to be their main goal. But yeah, the football they play can be very eye-catching at times, but I do feel they have to be bailed out by Mbappe one too many times. That's at least once per tournament, if not multiple times. Zaire Emery goes down there, and that's going to be a PSG free kick. Funny how you talk about Gaultier and then he pops up on the broadcast. Yeah, I know. I was gonna make a note of that, but yeah, he just pops up. It's brilliant. Maybe they're listening. BT are tuning into this at the same time. I don't think BT decide what they show. They just pick the commentators, and even that they get wrong. But yeah, Hakimi, Verratti, Zaire-Emery, and now they've lost possession again. PSG. Coman goes back to De Ligt. And now into Kimmich. And now Bayern could come forwards. Joshua Kimmich has options down the left. Chooses to go backwards though under immense pressure from Lionel Messi. Headed away by Mendes. And now Danilo Pereira can take it in his stride. Neymar. Soler. Pereira. Neymar. Picks up the ball. Here comes PSG. Neymar looking dangerous though. He's dealt with easily by Benjamin Pavard there. He's going to go down rolling around holding his face, but referee has no time for his antics. Kingsley Coman now bursting away from Zaire-Emery. He looks dangerous on the counter. Coman looked like he was winding up for a shot, but he stalled and then was tackled by Verratti. Inch perfect challenge that from Marco Verratti. And now Michael Oliver, by the way, didn't realise he was refereeing today, but yeah, he has just pulled the game back for that Neymar foul. Jack would just completely go off track and not focus on the game after time. What a commentator. Well, this is more a watch-along. We just have a chat about the football while it's on. I know we tend to take a more commentating approach to watch-alongs, but yeah. At the end of the day, it is a watch-along where we are just chatting about the game and I guess the context around it and everything that happens. But yeah, welcome to the stream, Vidas Admin. Welcome, mate. Joins with a fun little emoji there. Don't worry, I like it. All right, thank you, X said. Get up. Yeah, that was so soft for Neymar. I'm glad Michael Oliver didn't stop it, because so often we see, as soon as you hold your face now, or your head, an immediate foul. Despite the fact there was nothing wrong with what happened there. Neymar just decided that when he got tackled, he just decided to throw himself to the floor. But, yeah. Very good challenge from Pavard. Gautier is trying to communicate something to Marquinhos, by the way. Would love to hear what that is. I'm sure Bayern would as well, but yeah, it's not been a great 21 minutes for PSG. I feel like they've really struggled to get the ball forward. Every time they've got it to Messi or Neymar, they've not really done enough with it. I feel like there's no outlet. You need a Kylian Mbappe. They keep trying to play the ball forwards, but you have no physical presence up there. They keep trying to play the ball over the top, but you have no one that's quick. Yeah, that's where they miss Kylian Mbappe. I feel like we're definitely going to see Mbappe on the pitch at some point today. I didn't watch last night's game, but I did watch the highlights. I'd like to hear your opinion. Well, Liverpool, I think, looked a lot better than they have done in recent weeks, but the first goal was completely unjust. I feel that came against the run of play. Everton were very unfortunate not to score from James Tarkowski's header, because despite the fact Liverpool dominated, they didn't create anything. They did not create anything for 40 minutes. And then James Tarkowski missed a header, and they've got the other end. And to be fair, it's a good finish, though Jordan Pickford should position himself better. But yeah, overall, Liverpool looked a little better. But I do feel that if that Tarkowski header goes in, completely different game. Liverpool lose. So they got very fortunate there. Well, that's football. Moments like that can decide games. Yeah. Bayern with possession now again. I feel like the Bayern, this game has very similar vibes to the Liverpool-Everton one. In terms of Bayern have all of the ball, but have created nothing, and PSG have no outlet. And the fact that they're wearing red and a shade of blue as well is quite amusing. But yeah, Pavard, Kimmich, Sane. Now Bayern look a little more dangerous. Leroy Sane gives it to João Cancelo, back to Sane, and now they're going to have to pass it around again. They lose possession, but it's back with Upamecano now. And it's a throw. I feel like Bayern are really struggling here to break PSG down. Like, they've had all the possession. I'm sure if they show us a possession statistic, it's going to be something like 70% Bayern. Maybe not that high, but something that's going to be incredibly high. especially for a Champions League knockout, because they've had all of the ball so far, but they've done nothing with it. Marco Verratti there does really well to avoid about 3 challenges, and then the ball does come out. Neymar trying to get to it. Pavard knocks it home though. Neymar will continue to rely on the press, but Bayern seem more than capable of playing out from it. Kimmich lets the ball run across his body and then knocks it across to Pavard. Back to Sommer. Neymar's gone down again because he's run into Pavard, and Oliver once again just tells him to get up. It's the best way to deal with Neymar. Just say to him, mate, get up. What are you doing? He genuinely just ran into Pavard again, and when he couldn't be able to press anymore, he just sat down and claimed it was a foul. But yeah, João Cancelo trying to deliver this cross now. Kimmich on the edge. Lovely dink ball forward. Kingsley Coman can get a shot away here. It's a very tame effort. Definitely no trouble for Gianluigi Donnarumma, who can walk out pretty much and pick that one up. Hola, welcome to the stream, Cauliflower, and Harry's here as well. Tottenham get bad everywhere they go. Yeah, I know, that was very amusing. 7 minutes into that match, Tottenham already behind to an AC Milan side that hasn't recorded a win since January. So yeah, amusing. Bayern are really struggling to break down PSG. Typical possession team versus Dyche team. Yeah, maybe that is the tactic then of PSG, just Dyche. And it would work if you had Kylian Mbappe. Like, Kylian Mbappe is Sean Dyche's dream, because you can set up... If Everton had Kylian Mbappe, they'd win the league. Because Dyche would keep everyone just deep and then just ping balls over the top to Mbappe. Oh, it's HZS, Harry. Yes, it is. It is XZ. Yeah, we don't have any moderators yet, other than me and Harry, because we have no need at the moment. Hopefully, when we hit, 1 million viewers per stream, then we'll add some moderators that aren't just me. Aren't just hosts on the show. Everton's problem last night was they don't have a striker. Exactly. Kylian Mbappe to Everton. Here we go. If Mbappe cared about football, he'd join Sean Dyche's team for absolutely free and play for like 10 quid a week. Come on, he's got to earn something, hasn't he? But yeah, Koeman, Kimmich, bringing that ball forwards. And the thing is, like, Kylian Mbappe could play for £10 a week and still be fine. Because one, he's already got a load of money. And two, he's getting paid a ridiculous amount of money by whatever boot sponsor he's with. I don't know which one it is. Yeah, I feel like it's Nike, but I might be wrong. Could be Adidas, could be Puma even. Ball through, Musiala almost gets there, but it's nodded past the post by Sergio Ramos, and it's out for a Bayern corner. No, yeah, it is Bayern corner. Did call that one right. Brilliant that from Sergio Ramos. Musiala managed to turn him. He just used his body really well and then managed to get a foot on the ball and put it out for a corner. Excellent defending from the experienced Spaniard. Which is my new favourite thing to say. Experienced Spaniard. If Calvert-Lewin played, could have been a different great game. Yeah, but Calvert-Lewin doesn't possess any pace on the counter. I feel like you need someone that's a bit quick to play a Dyche system, but at least you have the physicality, I guess. And that is leathered over the bar by Kingsley Coman. Mbappe's either going to go to Real Madrid or Liverpool if he leaves PSG. Yeah, the problem for Liverpool is they definitely can't afford him, so they'll have to wait till he's free. And same for Real, really, because their FFP situation is mental. But so genuinely, not saying this because I'm a Chelsea fan, but Chelsea, like, I could see it happening. I'd love it to happen. Don't think it will, but could make a lot of sense, considering how much money Chelsea have. I don't think Chelsea, because whilst he had a trial, his mother wasn't very happy. Yeah, they didn't keep him on, did they? They said Mbappe was never going to be good enough because he wasn't. I think it was because he wasn't strong enough. Mental. How good Cobham is, and they went, nah, we don't want Mbappe, mate. We got better here. We've got Mason Mount, mate. Why do we need Mbappe? But I'm sure in hindsight they would have loved to have Kylian Mbappe. Anyway, not on the pitch currently, Kylian Mbappe. The players that are for PSG aren't really doing a lot, and now Bayern have a free kick in a very good spot. Kimmich and Sane stood over this. If it's Sane, I imagine they'll be going for goal. If it's Kimmich, I imagine they'll be dinking it towards the very dual players have got lined up in the box. Well, to be fair, this could be an in-swinger as well from Leroy Sane. Joshua Kimmich It's going for target, which is one of the things I didn't have noted down. It hits the wall and it's going out, and it's out for a corner. Apparently PSG offered Mbappe to Liverpool for 352 million. Do you know anything about FSG, guys? Yeah, they don't spend anything, but yeah. If Qatar go into Liverpool and United, that could be the thing that changes it. Because imagine a front three of like Rashford, Mbappe, and then Sancho. That would be the best front three ever. Undoubtedly. And before people start saying, Sancho, waffle, nah. Jadon Sancho's got the ability to be one of the best players in the world. I just hope his mentality is there this season. Because he has it. He has the technical ability. And he's been working on his physical ability. It's just whether the mental capacity to be one of the best players in the world is there. Because look at his performances for Dortmund. Not just in the league, but also in the Champions League. He was absolutely scintillating in a team that was so subpar. Balling, by the way, for Bayern Munich and headed just wide by Choupo-Moting. He's claiming it's a corner. It doesn't seem to be by his reaction. No, I think that does come off Nuno Mendes. Yeah, it does. This, I can understand now Choupo-Moting's fury. PSG goal kick. Where do you think Josko Gvardiol will end up? Very interesting situation, in my opinion. Bayern Munich. Because they are boring and they buy the league. And also, why would you relocate? You can probably dominate for the next century with Bayern, and I don't see who else is coming in for him. City have got an absolute, bucket list of problems at the moment. You're not going to want to join City for fear you might not have a job in 12 months. If a verdict is reached and they are proven guilty and then they are potentially relegated to the National League, you might be stuck at a National League side with a transfer embargo on them. So you're not going to. No one wants to join City right now unless you're like just looking for a final payday or you are able to put a buyout clause in your contract. Like if they are found guilty, they're able to leave for free or something like that. Well, not free. They're going to want some payment, aren't they, City? But yeah. So apparently he told his agent he wants to go to Real, but apparently that's fake. I don't see Real signing a centre-half right now. They've got Rudiger, who'll be a starter for at least another 2 years. So Gvardiol would not... I don't think Gvardiol would see that as an appropriate option. They've got David Alaba as well, of course. And Eder Militao. I know he's a right centre-half, but... Yeah, Gvardiol and Militao would be one of the best young centre-back partnerships, but I just don't see it happening. So yeah, I don't really know where he ends up. I feel like Bayern makes the most sense, but then you look at their back three tonight. De Ligt is definitely going to be starting for a while with Meccano the same, but if you stick Gvardiol in there over Pavard, I think they look stronger. But yeah. Chelsea are probably not going to get UCL football. If they don't, it's difficult for them to spend the next few transfer windows. Difficult but not impossible. You can tempt players with the project. So it's certainly not impossible. Improbable for certain players, but it depends who you're buying from. If you look at the transfer targets from Chelsea so far, they're not players that have, a lot of them have played Champions League football, but they're not players that are going to be demanding it. They're young players, they can wait. So if Chelsea follow a similar strategy, I think they can still convince players to join. Like I know Arsene Zakarian, someone they've chased for a while. I'm not the biggest fan of that. I feel Oscar Glauc is a more talented player, but I think he should have gone to Salzburg, hasn't he? Oscar Glauc, but I might be wrong on that one, but he's a fantastic player. If you could pick him up if you had picked him up in January, that's a brilliant bit of business. So Salzburg again, absolute factory for talent. Because they've bought him for like 20 mil, I think, and they'll sell him on for 8 times that. No, probably not 8 times. But they'll definitely sell him on for 40, 50, 60 mil, so they're going to be minted. Apparently, if Chelsea don't get UCL, it'll be hard to spend because they might break FFP otherwise, as well as the new 5-year contract law. Yeah, so obviously they are implementing that to try and stop Chelsea. I don't see Chelsea being stupid enough to fail FFP. They've got enough assets as well that are sellable. Like, if you bin off Pulisic and Ziyech, you instantly make yourself a 70 mil. You make yourself 70 mil richer and you don't worsen the squad, and you also save up a load of wages. You've got Lukaku, who's not even in the team this season, who you can potentially sell on. It's probably going to be for a fraction of the price you bought him for, but at the end of the day, at least you get the wages off the off the books and you get rid of a player that's clearly unhappy and not good enough for this level. But as to where he goes, I don't have a clue. I generally don't know who buys Lukaku right now. I don't know who views that as a good deal. Maybe PSG. Because Lukaku and the French League would actually cook, but I don't see it happening now because PSG and Chelsea's relationship is in tatters after the Ziyech fiasco. Which I don't really understand from Chelsea. Because I know Madueke can't play in the Champions League due to registration rules, but surely you just, deal with Mason Mount out there rather than go, yeah, we need Ziyech. But I don't know. You've also now got a player who quite openly wanted to leave, and he's just stuck there now for another 6 months. I mean, I thought he was going to end up in Turkey or something on loan, like Nicolo Zaniolo has, but seemingly he's been convinced to stay for 6 months at least. But I can't see why Ziyech would give it his all out on the pitch. It doesn't. It barely does anyway. Why would he now? Messi gets away from Sola. Brilliant run from Lionel Messi. Well dealt with, though, by Benjamin Pavard. PSG quick take the throw. Nuno Mendes. Without options, though, pauses for a moment. In my opinion, Chelsea's worst decision this season was sacking Tuchel. I would disagree, but I think the timing was strange. I think for the project, it was necessary that Tuchel was sacked, but to sack him 3 months into a season is a strange one. I would have either done it at the end of this season or done it at the start of last. But, yeah, they didn't. That's the situation they find themselves in now, is that I don't think the first 15 games under Graham Potter have really been good enough, but it takes time for him to implement his style. It's going to take time for the players to get used to playing with each other, but I think it will work out long term with Potter. So ultimately, I don't think they'll regret this decision long term. I know a lot of people still want Potter out, which I find strange, but sure. But as long as the Chelsea board don't listen to that, if we get to the end of next season and Chelsea still don't have any European football to look forward to in 2024-25, then Potter shouldn't be at the club. But you've got to give him time. You've got to give him time. I mean, look at Arteta. If anything, not playing in the Champions League could benefit Chelsea next season. Because as much as you will miss out on a lot of revenue, the ability to rest in the midweek rather than having to play so many games could be of massive benefit. Obviously you lose a lot of revenue. And you lose attraction to a few players. But look at the squad Arsenal have built. And the fact they're currently top of the Premier League. And they haven't had Europe for the last year. Well, they've had Europa League and stuff like that, haven't they, in recent years? So, yeah. I think similar to Arteta, it's going to take time, but if you trust the process, as he's been saying for years, trust the process, Graham Potter and Chelsea will work out eventually. Sorry, Jack, but because of Liverpool's win, now Chelsea are back in 10th. Yeah, but I'm not, I'll judge it come the end of the season. Because there's so many factors still at play. Chelsea could still, somehow win the Champions League. You never know. Or at least go somewhat far in that. Chelsea can still get European football, so I'm not too annoyed. 10th isn't brilliant right now, but we're still 6 points, 8 points off the European spots. I'm not, I'm not worried. If we get to the end of the season, we're still 10th, then yeah. Questions will be asked, but still, even then, Graham Potter shouldn't be sacked. Unless, not even unless. I don't see who else you bring in. Nagelsmann's not leaving Bayern right now, and even if he did, that's a risk. Someone who's never managed in English football before. De Zerbi's would have only been at Brighton for 8 months by then. I don't think he's a fantastic coach, but again, it's a risk. Pep potentially, if that all goes to, if City has to fold. Or not, City won't fold, but if they drop down the leagues, then maybe Pep will leave. Even then, I wouldn't see him join Chelsea. I don't see Chelsea wanting him. That's not a project. Pep Guardiola is winning something instantly. But, yeah. But Chelsea have not played Champions League football since November the 2nd and have not been in good form. Yeah, but Milan haven't won since January. Now they're beating Tottenham. So ultimately, it just comes down to the night. And your opponents, and as much as Dortmund have been in good form, they are one of the most inconsistent sides in Europe. They're quite sloppy. I think Dortmund might win the first leg and then Chelsea overturn it. But I guess we'll see tomorrow. So we'll see whether they can, whether Chelsea can actually challenge Dortmund. We've been in some really good form, Dortmund, so it's going to be a tough one. And they've just had Salih Özcan come back from injury as well, which is a big win that for Dortmund. Angry Ratman thinks Potter out. Do you know who Angry Ratman is? I'm going to guess it's that expressions guy you go on about all the time. But yeah, with Meccano, or it might be Rory Jennings. I saw that he was going on about something, but he always is. So of Meccano, driving it out of the Bayern defence, goes out wide to Kingsley Coman. Can deliver this ball, does deliver this ball, flicked on by Goretzka, and it's just past the post. Well, not just past, massively past. But nice idea that from Bayern Munich. I feel like the game's sort of calmed down now. Nothing's really happening. I wasn't even... Goretzka was headed away by Kimmich. Not Kimmich, Ramos. Right, Bayern time then. It's a corner. For Bayern, can they do something from this? 39 minutes on the clock. We've got 6 until the end of the half. Will we finally see a breakthrough? Shocking delivery, so no. Messi on the counter. Coman. Good challenge from Kingsley Coman, but Messi does well and then is fouled by Choupo-Moting. Don't think it was intentional. Choupo-Moting just ran into him, really. Mendy releases. Is that Wilson Zaire-Emery in behind? It is, but he's not won the ball. I keep calling him Wilson, don't I? His name's Warren, but... Fantastic talent, Warren Zaire-Emery. But yeah. Pavard on this right-hand side gives it to Cancelo. Back to Benjamin Pavard. He's someone I've not seen since 2018, I feel, Benjamin Pavard. He scored a goal in the World Cup that was brilliant. And then he just hasn't existed since. Fully just done nothing. Ramos with the ball now. Zips it out wide. Hakimi touches it forward. Zaire-Emery can't get to it. But Hakimi then does win the loose ball. And then he leaves a mark there on De Ligt. But PSG still with possession. Through ball from Verratti. And it's very quick off his line. Jan Sommer to deny Neymar getting to that ball free. And Verratti is down holding his ankle. It's going to take him a moment to recover from that one. I think Neymar was offside regardless. But yeah, he goes in for it. And I think, yeah, just if Meccano accidentally stamping on him there. But yeah, Pavard now. Sane, back to Pavard. Cross to Meccano, and now Bayern can build around. Build it up and try and actually create something. Bayern haven't done anything. And again, another backwards pass instead of trying an ambitious ball forward from Joshua Kimmich. Very Jorginho-esque. Bayern bringing it forwards. Goretzka, Musiala, back to De Ligt, back to Musiala. PSG doing a very regimented though so far in this 4-5-1. Holding him in good stead. Goretzka goes down. Pavard picks up the loose pieces, and now with Sane. Sane, Kimmich, back to Sane, takes it in his stride, gets it out wide. Kingsley Coman gets to the touchline. Can he cross it in? He can, but it's just in front of Choupo-Moting. Doesn't fall nicely. Kimmich, and it's a good effort, but it's well saved by Gianluigi Donnarumma. Yeah, lovely from Coman. That burst on the left-hand side delivers the ball. Choupo-Moting should do better. Ramos heads away. Kimmich strikes it sweetly. But I think it's slowed down there by a touch from Warren Zaire-Emery, and it's a comfortable save for Gianluigi Donnarumma. Positive though. Positive signs from Bayern. Ramos into Pereira, back to Donnarumma under a bit of pressure. Calmly boots it forwards, headed back by Leon Goretzka, falls to Pereira. Sane sticks a foot in, but it ends up with João Cancelo. Don't know how I've made that mistake, but very similar to be fair. We've got some transfer news. Atletico Madrid are considering a cut price bid for Christian Pulisic. I mean, would he work there? It depends who's coming in, I guess. Do we know anything about? Is there any rumours as to who's taking over at Atleti? Because it is now confirmed, right, that Simeone will not be their manager next season. New era potentially for Atleti. Gone the days of shithouse 4-4-2, 15 red cards per game, and everyone gets booted into Kingdom Come. Instead, potentially a young new coach full of ideas. Could be an exciting change. Cancelo driving that ball forward. Sane, under pressure from Ramos, knocks it back to Kimmich. In terms of what's next for Simeone, that could be an interesting development. I can see Tottenham. I feel like I've already got a few players like that. Højbjerg, Romero. I feel like under Simeone, they could become a real force. Mendes, Neymar, Soler. Releases Nuno Mendes. That's a brilliant ball forward, and PSG have a chance now. Nuno Mendes needs options in the centre. Has people arriving. Picks out Verratti. Back to Mendes. Mendes gives it to Messi. Messi fouled by De Ligt, and it's a free kick on the edge. 45 minutes are almost up here for the first half. Big chance here for PSG. De Ligt overzealous in his challenge. Messi goes down. That's certainly a free kick. According to the Telegraph, Chelsea bet the race for Bellingham. Wow. I mean, imagine a midfield two of Bellingham and Enzo. That cooks. It just does. Or you play, well, you go 4-3-3. Because I think you definitely need a defensive midfielder behind them both. So they can just, create everything. And then, yeah. And then you play 4-3-3 with João Felix at the top of as your striker, as your main man. But yeah, looks like Chelsea's best player at the moment, João Felix. I think Havertz plays a lot better when Felix is on the pitch. So we're interested to see whether they can pull off a brilliant result last night. Thing is, I feel if Chelsea had beaten West Ham, which they very much could have based on the performance, but we're talking about last night as with a lot more confidence for Chelsea. Neymar runs over it. Messi will take, and it's into the wall. I feel like I've not seen a free kick scored for ages. Don't know if it's just me, but not someone scored for ages. It's now half time, by the way. And the first half comes to a very abrupt end. It's been a bit of a dull first 45 minutes, but yeah. Very cagey affair so far. No goals yet. It's PSG 0, Bayern Munich 0. And in the other game, Tottenham are currently 1-0 down away at AC Milan. So yeah, first half leaving a lot to be desired. Hopefully the second half provides a lot more action. And yet Roma wants Jared Branthwaite. I mean, that is quite interesting. I don't know how he's been getting on at PSV. I did see an interview the other day of someone telling him that Carlisle was like the worst place on earth, and then he just replies, "Oh yeah, that's my hometown, mate." That was brilliant. Just this interviewer slagging off Carlisle, and then he's quite embarrassed quite quickly. Yeah, Jose Mourinho master plan. What, just sign old Premier League players? Well, not even. I mean, he used to play in the Prem, I guess, but he's not old, is he, Jared Branthwaite? Just 21, I think. But yeah. Maybe the Serie A are actually going to buy some young players. That would be a surprise. But the Serie A has just become a bit of a retirement home. It's a shame. On to the stream Mopag. Bayern do beat FCB. Oh yeah. I don't know if that's... Is it BAY, isn't it? Usually. I don't know why I went for FCB. That just looks more like Barcelona. But it works, I guess. I might have cursed the game, sorry, by predicting 3-3. Yeah, if we all predict 0-0 draws from now on, we'll see loads of goals. But when we all predict, actual good games of football, all we get is 0-0s. This game will end 1-0. Like, Kylian Mbappe goal. Or maybe just 3-0. 3 Kylian Mbappe goals. Will we see Mbappe at half-time? That is the big question. What do we think, chat? Will Kylian Mbappe be on the pitch for the second half? That would be interesting if he was, but... Yeah, I don't know if they'll make that change yet. Potentially, though. I mean, if PSG really want to assert some dominance, bringing on Mbappe now is the way to do that. Because at the moment, they are allowing Bayern to run all over them. Walk all over them. But yeah, if they bring on Mbappe, they might better flip this game on its head. But yeah, just a quick look at the poll in chat then. 20 votes, 55% in favour of PSG, 40% in favour of Bayern, and once again, only 5% going for the draw. It's a shame to see. Really is a shame to see. I think that means one person's voted for draw, doesn't it? Disgraceful. But yeah, PSG, interesting having the favour with you guys. I find that interesting. I mean, obviously I said Bayern would win, but yeah. And based off this first half, you'd expect them to. We're getting some XG statistics from XZ. PSG 0.05 XG, Bayern 0.48 XG. Yeah, interesting that. I mean, makes complete sense. Bayern have been all over PSG. I think the best chance of the game was probably that of Joshua Kimmich, potentially, I'd say, from the edge of the area. 10 shots Bayern, 1 for PSG. It's a one shot, the free kick. It is, isn't it? That is genuinely PSG's one shot. A set piece. Bayern dominant. Yeah, completely. What are the possession stats like, XZ? Because I feel like this is going to be, like, the possession stats are going to be disgusting. It's going to be like 70% in favour of Bayern. Half-inch Mbappe surely getting the dub. Yeah, probably. He is such a talented player, Kylian Mbappe. Such a talented player. I really hope he ends up in the Prem. Just to see that sort of Haaland and Mbappe rivalry in the same league. But I don't think it'll happen. I just don't think he's going to be at PSG for a while now. The problem is, for the long term, does it make sense to stay in France? Because I do think French football is currently on the up. And I think French football has a good chance of becoming the second best league in Europe. Because they've got the talent. There's a league full of talent. And so they're either going to convert that talent into performances across Europe and then eventually improve in the league, or they're going to sell the talent and they're going to get all the money. In which case then everyone gets richer. But yeah, potentially. I think French football has a lot of promise. If you combined the coaching in La Liga and the talent in French football, you would create a league that could rival the Premier League. But obviously that's not going to happen. Because the league clubs have a bit more money at the moment. But yeah. Very interesting situation. Rooney wants to return to English football, went to the Southampton job. Imagine Rooney keeping Southampton up. Ain't happening. Rooney will say at DC United, imagine he'll see this season now. Oh no, their season's about to start, isn't it? Around that sort of year, because obviously they do calendar years rather than seasons like every other league of football. But yeah, no, I think Jesse Marsh's going in the Southampton, isn't he? I think. Might be wrong there, but that's what I heard. And that's pretty much tied up. I would watch Ligue 1 if the Parisian derby will happen. Paris FC get promoted. Yeah, that would be good. Would be good. Not too far off, by the way, on the possession statistics. 60% for Bayern, 40% PSG. Complete dominance. They're the sort of statistics you see when Manchester City played Bournemouth. Complete dominance. And PSG, 40% seems high. I don't remember them having the ball. Whereas Bayern constantly had the ball. But yeah. Milan goal was an absolute mess at the back from Spurs. Was it? I haven't seen it yet. I might see if I can find it quickly. Yeah. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if it is a cock-up at the back. That sounds incredibly Tottenham-y. I'll see if I can find a replay of the goal somewhere. Yeah, Brahim Diaz's header was the bit that surprised me. I was expecting like a Giroud goal. So a bit of a shame it wasn't, but yeah. So I was expecting, like Theo Hernandez cross, Olivier Giroud header. Mainly because Theo Hernandez is in my team. Here we go. I found one. Found a replay. Ball up forwards. Flicked on. Is that Theo Hernandez that flicks it on? Oh, it comes off the keeper. It's a mess. And it's bundled over the line. Yeah. That is pretty much every goal Tottenham concede. Just a complete shit show. A ball put in a dangerous area. It fizzes all over the place. Shot gets saved and then no one reacts and it's headed in. Such a Tottenham goal. Yeah, well, PSG just we're getting a history lesson here from XZ on the history of PSG and Paris FC. Love it. But yeah. That's the first half. Is there much else to say? I feel like I've said it all. Bayern dominated. PSG weren't great. To bring on Mbappe, they're probably going to win though. That's it. In terms of subs, yeah, Bayern aren't going to do anything. PSG are going to bring on Mbappe probably at some point. Probably not yet though. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, BT choosing to point out Choupo-Moting. Is lack of mobility potentially they're choosing to pick out? I don't know. But that's what I would be highlighting. I think they're highlighting here that Bayern don't have anyone bursting forward in attack. That they're putting their cross into good areas, but no one's running onto it. They make some good points. Wait, did TFC get sub-bombed from Gym 19 and now is dead? Sort of, Mopag. We've been slowly rebuilding our audience over the last year, and we are now well over 1,000 subscribers that are organically thingy. But I think if we started the channel today, we'd be able to probably grow it quicker, much quicker than we did before. But welcome to the stream, Jaden Dominguez. That is not a name I recognise, so I might be wrong, but I think you're new here. If so, welcome to the channel. Glad you can join us. Real Madrid are keeping tabs on Richarlison ahead of a potential summer move. Yeah, it's been a bit weird, hasn't it? Richarlison at Tottenham. It's not really worked out. He's not got any minutes. He's therefore not scored any goals. Nothing's happening. But, yeah. I really don't know what's going to happen there. Because I can't understand why, when Son is in the worst form he's ever been, why you'd not had more minutes for Richarlison. Also, Conte used to love a 3-5-2, so why not bring that back? They've got the midfielders for it. You could play a midfield three of Basuma, Højbjerg, Bentancur, and then try Kane and Richarlison up front. But, yeah. Still sticking with a 3-4-3, still picking up bad results. But this is the thing. They've got Chelsea end of month. They're probably going to win that, aren't they? After all these horrific performances, they're probably going to beat Chelsea. It's just what Tottenham do. I played FIFA and Tottenham played Richarlison over Kane. Yeah, FIFA doesn't really make any sense, does it, Mopag? But, yeah. I can kind of... It depends on the system, doesn't it? But I think Kane will leave Tottenham at the end of the season. That's right, that is what I'd imagine happening. You can't play Bentancur because there's an ACL injury and Basuma is injured and Højbjerg is suspended. Right, so scrap that then. Don't do any of that. I mean, once you've got a full fit team, obviously, which they've had those three fit for all of the last 2 months. It's only recently they've all stopped being fit, right? Because I've seen all of them play, at least since the start of January. But yeah, I think we'll end up with. I think Kane will go to Manchester United. That seems the most likely scenario, because I just don't see. Well, I don't see why he'd stay at Tottenham. They're not going to win anything. I don't think, at least. So, yeah. Well, why not just? Why not join Manchester United, who are in a really good spot? I think United are probably going to win trophies over the next few years. I think they're playing some really nice stuff. I think Rashford has been sensational under Ten Hag. Video hopefully coming out about him in a couple of weeks. So yeah, I think if they can get a reasonable price for Kane, I think you go for him. I don't know why Kane would want to leave, because Tottenham, all this about loyalty. You'd still be Tottenham's greatest ever player. Whether you stay or go, you're still Tottenham's greatest ever player. And you can still go and beat the Premier League record while playing for Man United. But yeah, I guess he just doesn't want to win anything. I don't know. I think Kane will stay at Tottenham. Sounds crazy if he has down 20 loyalty in FM. Yeah, it's bizarre. It's really bizarre. But yeah, I just think often we look at players like Matt Le Tissier and we go, wow, we commend them for never leaving their boyhood club, staying there. But the difference is, Matt Le Tissier would have been a bit part player at Manchester United. Harry Kane starts at Tottenham. But it's also like he's never won anything at Tottenham. And Tottenham aren't a small club, relatively. Compared to like Southampton, who when Matt Le Tissier was playing for him, he was like their joint Ward-Prowse. And I guess we see the same with James Ward-Prowse now. Yeah, unless Southampton get relegated, he's probably going to stay there for his whole career. But I don't understand why Kane would want to stay. If you play for a smaller side and you're the best player there and you'd be a bit better player somewhere else, I can understand the loyalty side. But when you would literally start for a much better side, why? And you're already a club legend with your boyhood club, why would you not just be a bit selfish? Tottenham fans are willing to let Kane go, but to a foreign club. Kane wouldn't want that though, because Kane's main ambition seems to be to break the record for most Premier League goals. And also, Kane doesn't strike me as someone who wants to live in Spain. No disrespect for Harry Kane, but I don't think he does. He'd look a little out of place, wouldn't he? It's like when didn't Steve McManaman was at Real Madrid, wasn't he? Well, that seems bizarre looking back. No, Kane will be a snake and join Chelsea or Arsenal. Yeah, imagine Chelsea could do with a striker that can score goals. It would be interesting, wouldn't it? It would be very interesting. I'd rather Chelsea target someone like Victor Osimhen, though. Got the Championship, by the way. It's 2-1 Norwich. They host Hull. How on earth we're covering PSG Bayern and I'm mentioning Norwich Hull? I don't know, but maybe that says something about the quality of that first half. I think we will be getting underway for the second 45 in just a moment, though. As our breaks are coming to a close, we're going to go and see the goal for another game. So yeah, Teo Hernandez fighting with it up the pitch. Gets a shot away, saved by Forster. Diaz aims at goalwards, another big save from Forster. No one reacts, Diaz heads home. Surely a Teo Hernandez assist right for the fantasy. Maybe not, there's quite a few touches from other people before, between the goal and him touching it, but always worth a check. No, unfortunately not. Worth a look though. But yeah, players making their way out for the second half. Kylian Mbappe is warming up. Is he coming on? Is this Kylian Mbappe making his way out for the second half? Oh, and João Cancelo is making his way to the bench. There is a change for Bayern Munich. Could this be a system change? Because Pavard could easily go to right back. So is this potentially a system change for Bayern Munich? Maybe they're seeing actually this 3-5-2. Is it 3-5-2? I don't really know what it is. There's players at 3-4-3, I guess. There's players everywhere for Bayern, but it hasn't worked so far. I'm trying to see if I can recognise a player that wasn't there in the first half. I do not currently. But Cancelo definitely ran past them in a coat and training top, so he's off. As for who replaces him, I don't know. PSG, though, could be bringing on Mbappe here. I guess we'll see in the next few moments whether they are. Yeah, Harry Kane was an Arsenal fan, Kevin De Bruyne was a Liverpool fan. Mike Lowen was his idol. Wow. He has to be the only human on earth who has Mike Lowen as an idol. No, that's harsh. I like Mike Lowen. I don't like his opinions on anything to do with football, but he seems an alright bloke. PSG, is there any noticeable absences from the players who started the game? Not I can see. Trying to see whether potentially they have subbed off anyone for Kylian Mbappe. No, I haven't seen is Warren Zaire-Emery. No, there he is. It's going to be the same team for PSG at least, but I think there was a change for Bayern Munich. I'll throw on Norwich, but it's offside. Alright. And Derby losing a 10-man Lincoln City. Harry will be buzzing to hear that if he's still tuning in. I don't know if he is. He might be doing literally anything else. But yeah, Messi, Neymar making their way onto the field now. And that is Alphonso Davies on in place of João Cancelo. Bizarre one, but sure. Oh no, they'll switch to fullback. Not a bizarre one at all. Makes complete sense. Literally what I was saying they should do. Great. So yeah, they'll go. So Bayern switching to a fullback. That'll be Davies, Upamecano, De Ligt, and Pavard. And then I don't know how the rest of the team works, but I'm sure it does. Oh no, they're sticking with the 5, I think. Pavard's definitely still central. Yeah, they're sticking with the 3-back. Okay, so it's just a simple personnel change. Presnel Kimpembe, the only change for PSG. Achraf Hakimi is off the pitch. So you'd imagine some sort of injury or discomfort for Hakimi. Ramos moves to right back. Then, you would imagine. No, Marquinhos moves to right back. Or is there Emery's a right wing back? Who knows? We're going to find out as the second half unfolds. PSG will get us underway with Neymar. I should get on it and do the graphics. And I'm underway for the second half. Brilliant timing. And yeah, so PSG switched to a 3, and Bayern bring on a left wing back for a right wing back. So Koeman switched sides, and that's it. That's all that's changed. Kimpembe could run forwards, and then they lose possession, but it's back out for their throw. Anyone remember when PSG almost went 2-0 down against Maccabi Haifa if it wasn't for the offside flag? I don't remember. Was that in the groups, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I do have some vague memories of them almost losing to Maccabi Haifa, but yeah. Can't say I remember it clear as day. PSG fans starting to ramp up the atmosphere. There are some flares behind the Bayern goal, I believe that was, and Kylian Mbappe is now warming up for the Parisians. Could be that he's brought on in the not too distant future. Nuno Mendes. So yeah, change for both sides at the half. Interesting to see. And neither of them were a move for Kylian Mbappe. And it would be weird if Bayern tried to sub him on. De Ligt, Choupo-Moting, Sane. Still in possession, Leroy Sane. Goes 1v1 with Kimpembe, gives it to Goretzka. It falls now to Davies, back to Sane. Under pressure from Zaire-Emery, goes to De Ligt. Under a lot of pressure, Bayern Munich at the moment. PSG playing some really a nice pressing system at the moment. They're able to put a lot of pressure on Bayern, which wasn't really seen in the first half, because first half Bayern had all the space in the world to operate in, and now they have seemingly less. So potentially a system change then for PSG. It looks that way. It does actually slot back into a 5. Not a 5, a 4 when they are in defence. So it's a 4-4-2 in defence, and I think a 3-5-2 in transition. Yeah, Nuno Mendes seems to get forward. And now he's going to go for a run, Nuno Mendes. Gets the other side of Pavard. Does really, really well, the Portuguese left wing back. He's brought down, and that's going to be a PSG free kick. I think. Mike Oliver's wiggling some fingers about. I don't know whether that's... I don't know whether he's going to put for simulation or whether he's claiming Pavard should be booked. And they're saying, nah, mate. I think it's the latter. Yeah, there's definitely a free kick here. Football London says Chelsea handed a huge boost in Rellingham race as Liverpool considered cheaper options. Yeah, well, Liverpool don't have any money. So, I think Mason Mount could be a cheaper Jude Bellingham alternative for Liverpool. Yeah, Mace would work at Liverpool. He's a very talented player. But I don't know where he fits in the Chelsea system. But he would work in a 3 for Liverpool. Ball forward, headed away from Bayern Munich. There is a lot of smoke on the pitch now. I believe it is. It's either smoke or fog. I'd imagine from the amount of flares set off, it's smoke. But PSG could be about to smoke. Bayern could be about to smoke PSG. Choupo-Moting goes past Ramos, goes past Zaire-Emery, but it's then cut out. Verratti trying to play out. Under a lot of pressure here. So far resisting the press though, PSG. Being forced back though. Kimpembe zips one forward. And Alphonso Davies can't bring it under control. Messi tries to let off. Zaire-Emery strong in the challenge, but Alphonso Davies avoids it. And now Bayern back in possession. Go on, Messi's minions. Welcome to the stream. I'm Harry. Absolutely loving the green name and the TFC badge. Welcome back, mate. But yeah, PSG in possession now. I can't say who it is on this episode. It's Carlos Soler. The flares do create an atmosphere, but they do make it hard if you're trying to tell who's who. PSG in possession again. Danilo Pereira back to Kimpembe. Pereira. Kimpembe. I do love French football for the atmosphere. It does seem absolutely terrifying though. I would absolutely fear for my life. I saw a brilliant clip of Marseille. I mean, of the fans celebrating. It's sensational. Best fans. One of the best sets of fans in the world. Zaire-Emery gets the ball inside. Neymar! It's a brilliant challenge from Meccano. Of a similar ilk to the one that Sergio Ramos pulled off to deny Musiala in the first half. Zaire-Emery does really well to hold off Alphonso Davies. Tries to get the ball inside. Neymar can't get there ahead of Meccano. Ball's out for a PSG corner. Oh, Mopag's in the English 8th division. That is fantastic. If they're ever on to... I hope they get in the FA Cup and then we can actually watch one of our viewers play football live. That would be sensational. Please get your team through into the in the FA Cup. Pereira challenges in the air, ball falls loose, and I think that is going to be his offside. Yeah. But yeah. I actually meant a joke since my country's league has never gone to any European competition. Oh yeah, I forget you're not in the English leagues. Even though I might see you in the FA Cup, but yeah, no. But yeah. At the moment, Danilo Pereira is just receiving some treatment. I feel like Michael Oliver's dealt with the games well so far. You always do fear that when you put an English ref in Europe, you might start to see some terrible Premier League refereeing on the European stage, but fortunately, he's not been too horrific in this match. But yeah, and we now just wait for Pereira to be able to play again. The smoke is really causing a problem at the moment for, visuals. But it's a brilliant atmosphere though at the Parc des Princes. But yeah, Danilo Pereira seems alright to continue. And now Jan Sommer will take a goal kick. Oh well, a free kick, isn't it? Because it was offside. Gautier watches on, a stern look in his eyes. He's not going to be too content with the PSG showing so far. I imagine it won't be too long till we see Kylian Mbappe. 50 minutes on the clock now, 40 left of the match. This would be a good result for Bayern. If they're able to hold PSG away in Paris, not them to a 0-0 draw. And then obviously you got the reverse fixture in about a month's time. You would go in with an advantage, as you would have that advantage in that away leg, and it would be all square. So, yeah. Upamecano gives it to Pavard. Coman, Pavard, Upamecano. Across to De Ligt. Goes out wide. Here's Goretzka into Choupo-Moting. Nice turn by Choupo-Moting. Needs to look behind him. Does. And here's Alphonso Davies now. Ball in. Back post. Kingsley Coman. It's a brilliant finish. He holds his hands up, Kingsley Coman. A product of the PSG Youth Academy, of course. But it's for goal. It's a breakthrough in the Champions League. PSG caught napping. Brilliant delivery from Alphonso Davies. And Kingsley Coman finishes. It really should be saved by Gianluigi Donnarumma, but Bayern will not care. Choupo-Moting does really well here to hold up the ball, gives it to Davies. It's a peach of a cross to an unmarked Coman, who finishes it on his right foot under the body of Gianluigi Donnarumma. I can't tell whether he's annoyed at himself or the lack of defending and marking amongst his defence, but wow. Kingsley Coman finds the breakthrough. It's took us a while, and Chelsea fan, you've joined at the perfect moment. Welcome back to the stream, my friend. But yeah, finally we have a breakthrough here in Paris, and PSG will get us back on the way for the rest of the game. But yeah, that's exactly what Bayern needed. They deserved the goal. They've been the better side, and it comes for Kingsley Coman. Maybe my decision to take out Sane for Coman at the start of the show wasn't a bad one after all in my UEFA fantasy team, but yeah. And now Kylian Mbappe has been stripped and is ready. This is going to be 3-1 PSG. Verratti, Pereira. Though PSG can find a goal before they even introduce their star man. Messi, Soler. Finds Nuno Mendes out wide. Mendes against Coman. Mendes wants to go up the line, but Coman does really well defensively. Mendes goes down. It's become quite messy. Soler steps in, and now PSG have possession once more. Carlos Soler finds Neymar on the edge. Could have a crack Neymar, but it's blocked by Upamecano. Falls to Marquinhos. Heavy push in the back. Verratti gives it to Pereira. He can saunter out and give that to Warren Zaire-Emery. Danilo Pereira coming inside. Still Danilo Pereira. That is out for a Bayern throw deep in their own half. Yeah. Welcome back, Joseph. For fuck's sake, PSG. Yeah. They're not playing well for your... I guess, do you want PSG to win? Messi fan. But as a hater of oil football, no, I hate both these teams in pretty much equal measure. But at least Bayern haven't bought their way to success really, but they do make the Bundesliga boring. So even this year it's been good. So yeah. If I go further, maybe I'll win the FA Cup in 5 or 6 years. Will TFC still be going on then? No, that's a very good question. I don't know. I don't know where this will go. I know we will be doing, hopefully, at least another 2.5 years. After that, I can't say where I will be in life. But, yeah, we should have at least another 2.5 years of doing TFC. And if we get to a point where TFC is a viable career option, then, yeah, we will stick with it. And we'll get to watch my back in the FA Cup. So, yeah. Indeed, TFC will hit 1 million. Well, hopefully, the more you guys share these streams around, people you think will enjoy the content, the more the channel grows, the more new viewers we find, the more the channel grows. So yeah, it's just about interacting as much as you can to help us grow, really. But yeah, by going forwards here, Koeman gets the ball inside. It's blocked by Sergio Ramos, and Kingsley Coman lets that run out for a fray. We recently hit 1.2k, so thank you very much for that. And yeah, the support on the channel over the last year has been immense. I don't really know what to expect from this year. I mean, I'd love to say, oh yeah, you know what, we're going to go for 10k, but I'm happy just where we are right now. I'll help you in your journey. Thank you, XZ. And we do now see Kylian Mbappe on the pitch, by the way. Carlos Soler makes his way off, and Kylian Mbappe is on, much to the light of the PSG Ultras. And a very promising first Champions League start, I'm guessing, for Warren Zaire-Emery, but he is now replaced by Fabian Ruiz. 2 changes for PSG. That's now 3 of their 5 changes already made, and we're not even at the 56th. We're not even at the 60th minute yet. I say YouTube is a viable option for a career if you earn enough. Yeah, exactly. But it's just about getting to a point where we are making enough money. So yeah. No, 2 million for Ola. Yeah, 10 million, mate. Full forward, by the way, from PSG, Neymar. Does have someone in the box to aim for now, namely Kylian Mbappe, but he's lost possession to Joshua Kimmich, so that ain't going to happen yet. Koeman brings it under his control nicely, the goal scorer, lays it into Meccano, ball flicked forwards, Choupo-Moting tries to get to it, but can't. Fabian, Messi, Fabian again, tries to find Neymar, but it's intercepted by Goretzka, and now Bayern can go the other way. Verratti puts in a late challenge. Ball play is allowed to continue. I imagine that's going to be a yellow card when this current attack comes to an end, potentially. But yeah, advantage is out, and it's PSG's ball now. As in, PSG have regained possession, but they're not going to call it back. Kimmich tries to play it forward, cut out by Fabian, and now PSG can attack. Danilo Pereira releases Mbappe in behind. Mbappe holds it up well. It's a poor pass out wide, and Koeman has possession. Gives it across to Goretzka. Zipping it at the moment, everyone is. Everyone's quite excited. You have to get 5 million views a year to make a living. Yeah, something like that. I don't really know what. I can't remember what CPM is. It's a bit all over the place at the moment. As we're still sort of learning how to best put ads on the videos and stuff like that. So experimenting, but yeah, 5 million sounds about right. 5 million views a year. So yeah, Verratti's going to get booked. Yeah, you'd imagine so. It doesn't seem to be that way though. I don't think Michael Lovridge can actually go back and card him because the ball is now out of play and no card seems to be emerging. Davies, Kimmich, Sane, back to Kimmich, plays it out wide. Kingsley Coman, Sane, up and Meccano. 200,000 subscribers a year. Yeah, that's the dream, isn't it? To be reaching those sorts of numbers, but yeah. Mbappe tries to get the outside to lit. It's a brilliant challenge though by the Dutchman. It's quite a surprise to see Kingsley Coman on the score sheet. It's not who I would have been predicting to score. He did score, didn't he, when they faced off in the Champions League a few years back? Did he score in the Champions League final for Bayern? I seem to have fake memories of it. I might be wrong. Yeah, Kimmich heads forward. Choupo-Moting loses possession. Fabian. Mendes. Across to Kimpembe. Ramos. Knocks it out wide. Marquinhos now. Gives it to Ramos and he can play it out wide. Marco Verratti. And it's now with Davies. He makes a cock up of the ball backwards. Sane gives it to Kimmich. I thought he might pop off a shot there, Joshua Kimmich. He is now going to pop off a shot. It comes off to Nino Pereira. I think that is... No, it's not even a goal kick. It's not even a corner. He has just genuinely made an absolute hash of that. Coman did score in the Champions League final versus PSG. Thank you, XZ. I was spot on there then. Yeah, of Meccano. Hosted back to Sommer. That was quite the ball backwards. Quite risky. He's lucky to get away with that one. Ball back forwards though. Ramos under pressure from Choupo-Moting here. It's so surprising. The fact Choupo-Moting is starting this game and the team he's playing for is winning is just unfathomable to me. The career of that man has been sensational. But fair play to him. You know, he's one of the most inconsistent strikers in Europe. He's never really been quality for this sort of level, but he's still here somehow. I do think Bayern need to address that and actually, sign a striker that can score goals and will stay fit. Koeman, ball in. Choupo-Moting, and that was quite the acrobatic effort. Unfortunately, it's not in the back of the net though for Choupo-Moting. Nice little side volley, but it's caught nicely by Gianluigi Donnarumma. No problem there for the Italian goalkeeper. Needed a bit more power and height behind that one, Choupo-Moting. But PSG can't force now. Mendes, Messi. Keeper has to get out of the way of it. Nice play from PSG. Verratti, Messi wriggles for a few men, but Bayern managed to regain possession. Goretzka thinks that ball forward. Pavard has to wait a moment for the ball to come to him. Sane lets it run across his body and then turns backwards under pressure here. Leroy Sane back to Davies. Pereira still gives press. Kimmich. Here's Jamal Musiala. Koeman. Coming inside. Brilliant run from Kingsley Coman. Gives it to Musiala. Can he create something? Picks out Goretzka. Sane. Can he get a shot away? No, he can't. Tries to give it to Davies, but it's cut out by Marquinhos. And now PSG can spin around and go on the counter into. They lose possession of Meccano. Gives it to Musiala. Brilliant that from Jamal Musiala. And he's away. Down this right-hand side. Musiala. Option in the box. Choupo-Moting against the crossbar. And it's out. I don't think it's going to be a goal kick. I don't think it made a contact with any PSG player. Musiala gets it across to Choupo-Moting. It's a great effort. A brilliant little bit of skill there from Musiala. I don't know. It was a save from Gianluigi Donnarumma. It's out for a corner. Yes, they don't use a flipping bicycle kick and Gakpo headed wide from 10 yards. Yeah, I remember that. It's just a bizarre situation where he just decided to bicycle kick it for no real reason. Similar to Origi's goal, last goal for Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. Luis Diaz, I do remember that. Luis Diaz bicycle kick to Origi header. Ball in, it's headed towards goal. Big save from Donnarumma. Choupo-Moting finishes it. No, he finishes it. It's it straight at the keeper. Should finish it. I think he was in an offside position anyway. And he did control it with his arm. But barring all those factors. I mean, it's unlucky for Pavard that isn't in. Big save from Donnarumma. He made a mess for the first one. But he's recovered it there with a massive save. Well, yeah. Ball forwards. Kylian Mbappe brings it under control. Marked by both Meccano and Koeman though. And I think he was offside anyway. Mbappe really struggling with timing his runs at the moment. Going a bit too soon. Here's a Meccano. Gives it to Sommer. Pavard. Who seems to have switched to a left centre-half role now. Interesting, but... yeah. I thought they would have switched to a fullback when they made the formation check, when they made the change to bring off João Cancelo. But the fact that another team that has subbed off João Cancelo looks better. Interesting, isn't it? Musiala. Coming down. That's brilliant again. Jamal Musiala is lighting up the pitch here in Paris. Sane goes out wide. Coman. Chance again for Bayern Munich. It's going to fall back post. Pavard tries to get his head to it. It's out from Ramos. That's going to be a corner. I'd love to see Mbappe in the Premier at Liverpool United unless City get relegated. Then Haaland should join Liverpool United. And you'd have the ultimate Mbappe the other, and you have the ultimate rivalry. Or Mbappe joins United and City don't get relegated, and then you have the ultimate rivalry there. Either or works. Or they both join Chelsea and there is no rivalry, they work together to completely ruin the Premier League forever. That works as well. Especially if Haaland was able to leave quite cheap if City get relegated to the 5th tier of English football. Unless they get an embargo, of course, a transfer embargo, in which case then they would sort of be, the players there would be stuck. They'd be forced to stick around. But, yeah. Bayern under pressure here, but they play out of it successfully. And Alphonso Davies has room to run into on this left-hand side. Goes inside to Goretzka. Cardiff have scored away at Birmingham, by the way. Kimmich. Oh, it's not a brilliant ball out wide, but Mbappe doesn't get to it. Now if McConnell can play it forward, Choupo-Moting tries to release the ball in behind to Coman, but Coman was offside, so he didn't even bother running after it. Kingsley Coman. I think everyone else on the pitch realised he was offside, apart from Choupo-Moting. No, we want to see two guys to the same club. We all like rivalries. Yeah, 100%. Unless Chelsea, in which case, pure dominance, win everything, all we care about. So yeah. 66 minutes on the clock. Are PSG going to get back in this game? What do we think, chat? Is there a PSG goal on the horizon, or are Bayern going to see this out? Sane. Davies, ball back in, Musiala, lets it run, Goretzka, Kimmich, gets it to Coman, can cross it, Kingsley Coman, gives it to Kimmich, good delivery, Davies can't get there, Marquinhos heads it, falls to Davies, Musiala, could cut in and have a shot here, Jamal Musiala. Sane loses possession, Mbappe now running away, I don't know, Neymar on the counter, back with Bayern though, Goretzka. Driving forward, Leon Goretzka. Plays it inside. Tries to go. I don't really know who the pass is intended for there. Just didn't fancy going out wide to Alphonso Davies. This game's sort of reached a lull. Both the sides taking it at more of a leisurely pace just to regain a breath after what's been a bit of a frantic last 15 or so. Davies. The Bayern could strike or PSG are relaxing. Here is Kimmich. He tries the ball forward to Musiala, but it's ambitious and hasn't paid off. Choupo-Moting, they're putting the pressure on Marquinhos. Marquinhos goes down quite softly, and that is going to be a PSG free kick. A little low. It's just clumsy from Choupo-Moting. When you go in so rashly, when you just run at someone, they're going to go down. Because of a bit of a tangle of legs. You feel the contact, you go down and wins a free kick. And that's now stopped Bayern from being camped in their half. Now PSG have possession. Donnarumma. Camera pans to Mbappe. He's been a little inactive, Mbappe. He's got a couple of touch on the ball, but he's not had the impact. He's not had that desired impact that most people expect him to have. Ojo has been booked. That is the least surprising comment of the stream so far. Thank you, Exedo, for the update on the game. Yeah, alright, Eric Dyer getting booked. Name a more iconic duo. I was going to say, oh no, if they get through, he's going to be, he won't be able to play, but they're not getting through, so it doesn't matter. Marquinhos, searching ball over the top. Upamecano, though, deals with it. He's looked brilliant tonight. And that, as I say, that shocking pass forward and PSG have possession again. Musiala intercepts Messi's pass, and now Messi has it back. Skips past Goretzka. Still going Messi. To Mbappe. Fabian. Crosses. God, gives it to Neymar. Neymar back heels it to Mendes. Neymar. It's well won by Upamecano again. He's looked so good. Choupo-Moting. I'll wait until he passed it off there to say that. Coman's been fouled there by Mendes. I feel like Coman could have kept going, but instead he's got Mendes a yellow card. It was a bit rash from the Portuguese left. Oh, sorry, it's Presnel Kimpembe that's made the foul. I didn't catch it probably, but yeah, there's a yellow card for Kimpembe. If football was communist, Man City have Ollie Watkins and Ruben Neves. Why? I don't get the relevance of those specific players. Just as in everyone would have everyone. Because, everyone works together, don't they? In a communist society, no one owns anything. So it wouldn't make any sense. Something like Jack Creation, Danny Ward. I don't get what's going on. With Meccano. Over this free kick. Pumps it forwards. Leon Goretzka chests it into Musiala. Musiala thumped to the floor by Sergio Ramos. There's going to be a free kick. PSG really, really struggling to deal with Bayern tonight. I thought they'd have more control over their home leg, but alas, they've really struggled to compete really with Bayern Munich. And now 20 minutes to play, and Bayern are once more in possession. Pavard, Davies, lets it run across his body and then lets it run out of play. But in terms of communism, I mean everyone gets an equal distribution of players. Yeah, so everyone would end up with a 25-man squad then, eventually. Or, well, a little less, because there's going to be teams in the lower leagues that don't have 25 players, so. But you'd end up with at least 18 per squad, right? So, yeah. And all the youth teams as well, to sort out. So Dagenham Rovers get Haaland and some Don from the side of the road, yeah. If you did randomly, it's like an NFL draft. I don't know how that works, but they do drafts and stuff out there for the college footballers. I don't really get it, but yeah, they bang on about draft picks. I think they just put them all in a draft, and then whoever, I guess, based on reverse championship order or something like that, they all get to pick a player that they want. From, one of the young players. Anyway, could that be interesting to football? Probably not. You'd have to introduce the whole system of players getting football scholarships and stuff. Because everyone in America, there's so many scholarships for NFL in America. 31 Norwich were away in their game against Hull. Championship's been a bit dry. I've not seen many notifications for it tonight. There's been a couple of goals like Cardiff and Norwich. Example. By the way, that's Alphonse Davies gone down in the penalty area. He's bewildered as to how it's not a pen. Ref waves it away, but VAR, you'd imagine, would have a look. And Vitinha is now putting his shirt on to come on for PSG. Pereira driving it forward, gives it to Messi. Messi to Ruiz. Fabian, and he's released Mbappe. Mbappe in behind. Brings it in his stride. A brilliant save from Sommer. Falls to Neymar. Can he get a shot away? Neymar blocked by Pavard. Neymar again. Big save from Sommer. Falls to Mbappe. I think he's offside though. He is indeed. A lot of action there. Mbappe thought he'd found the leveller. A big save from Sommer. Neymar then picks it up and it's a big block from Pavard. Falls Neymar again. Falls another huge save out of Sommer. And Mbappe runs from an offside position. I mean, he runs from pretty much off the pitch to get the ball and then he scores. So, yeah. Definitely offside. There's a North-South Prem draft. Who would you draft for North and South teams? I won't say because that is another podcast idea that's currently on our list. But if you do have any ideas, do stick for videos and other stuff. Stick them in chat. Or any ideas for new series. We'd love to hear your input. But yeah, stream's not going to go anywhere. Pro Predictions is going to stick around. Podcasts will stick around. Obviously, but if you've got any ideas for podcasts we could do, or other videos we could do stick them in chat. But yeah, we cut now back to Kylian Mbappe looking less than pleased. I've seen Kingsley Coman's goal go in. Could have been annoyed at a variety of factors there that played into that goal. Kingsley Coman was down. I think he's coming off now. Kingsley Coman. Or he might just be going out. Yeah, he is coming off. Kingsley Coman with the important goal for Bayern Munich that gave them the lead. And now they still hold that lead. But he is now coming off. I think he might be injured. PSG though, Danilo Pereira is going to make his way off for Vitinha. And Bayern are going to make another change at the same time as bringing off the goal scorer Coman. But yeah, Patiño on for Danilo Pereira, and then I can't see who that is running on for Bayern. The one player coming on is Thomas Müller. You'd imagine that would be up front. A replacement for Choupo-Moting. It is indeed. Müller will be going on up front in place of Eric Maxim Choupo-Moting. And as for the other change, we'll find out in a moment who's coming on. Sunderland 3-0 off at QPR, by the way. I don't know who else came on. Someone on the right wing. I'm going to guess Serge Gnabry. Probably the most likely. Goretzka. De Ligt. Meccano. To the mystery player that's just come on, Kimmich. Still going, Joshua Kimmich. Brilliant run. Müller inside. That is Serge Gnabry, by the way. Gnabry picks the ball up, tries to play it to Kimmich. It's cut out. Where's it? Who's it going to fall to? It's going to fall to Neymar, who gives it to Verratti. PSG come forward. He releases Kylian Mbappe down this left-hand side. Mbappe goes right, goes left, goes still left. Ball in, De Ligt, chest out of play, and it's a PSG corner. Richardson's playing a game of football. Wow, breaking news. Thank you, X said. Coming on in that game against Tottenham, against AC Milan, hoping that he can find the all-important equaliser for Tottenham. And Koeman's just given his shirt to a ball boy. It's a nice touch. An absolute win for the ball boy. Marquinhos heads it towards goal. Saved by Jan Sommer. Yes, ball boys often go underappreciated, but seemingly that one earned the respect of Koeman. Maybe he gave the ball to him quickly, or maybe he just asked. Maybe just asked for the shirts he was walking around. But yeah, he's won himself a Bayern Munich shirt. Match worn Bayern Munich shirt as well. Very much a collector's item, and Koeman scored in this game. Sane tries to go on a run. Vitinha has possession though, gives it to Messi, and now PSG can come forward. Mbappe, Messi, big challenge from Gnabry. It is a free kick. I think that's a little harsh, but yeah, free kick to PSG. 13 minutes left of this game. If that kept the United job where they've got on top four last season, has been brilliant at Middlesbrough. No, I think he needs that championship experience. And the experience of managing a side a bit with less expectations than Manchester United. Musiala, by the way, he's played this ball into the corner. Muller's going to give chase against Kimpembe. Kimpembe goes down, but it's going to be a free kick to PSG deep in their own half, pretty much in their own corner. And they do take it quickly, and now PSG coming down this right-hand side. Ramos. Looking for an option further forward, finds Neymar. Mbappe. Here is Fabian. Put out a play. No, Gnabry keeps it on. After making the challenge from Meccano. Goes back to Sommer. And now Bayern can rebuild. Do that. 20 votes, by the way, in the poll and chat. 54% have opted for PSG. Currently incorrect. The 43% that back Bayern. Spot on as it stands. Just 4% are going for a draw. Draw really is not favoured, is it, in the stream chat polls? But yeah, of Meccano with possession now. Bayern coming forwards with it. Müller, Gnabry. Knocks it backwards, and now it's with Sommer. The AC Milan side has not won since January the 6th, and Tottenham are currently losing 2. Yeah, I know. It's amusing. Anyway, that is Leroy Sané in possession. Ball over the top. It seems to have caught everyone out. Gnabry, brilliant run though, and it's offside though. Unfortunate that one. I thought they caught everyone out. Turns out the linesman was the only one not caught out. He's well aware that Gnabry was offside. Sergio Ramos plays it forward. Marquinhos. 11 minutes left in this game. Back to Marquinhos. Gives it out wide to Fabian. Now it's back with Kimpembe. Marquinhos. Nunes Mendes has pushed on, by the way. It's it goes into a 3 whenever they're in possession. Similar to sort of how how Arsenal play, but instead of the left back inverting, the left back pushes on. Oh, nice from Fabian. Mendes can cross it. Gives it to Mbappe. Mbappe now holds it up nicely. Fabian. Can up by Goretzka. Falls to Verratti. Mendes, 1-2. Still going. Nuno Mendes gets it inside. Neymar can't get there. Bayern clear. Will Dyche keep the toffees up? Opinions may have changed after that Merseyside derby. Yeah, I think they will. I think he will. They got really unlucky in that game. Because I feel if they hadn't conceded in such unjust fashion, then I think they would have won that game. I think that Tarkowski goal deserved to go in. It didn't. But, yeah. I think if that had gone in, that would have been a Everton win. Because they would have kept it tight and they would have got the win. Or at least a point. So, yeah, Everton will get points like that in the future. Especially if they have a striker that can hold up the ball better and actually press the Liverpool defence a bit more. So, yeah. I think Everton will stay out. Everton got dominated in that game against a team that hasn't won since December the 30th. And that was only caused by Wout scoring 2 own goals. Yeah. Going forward now, Bayern. Musiala. Nice run. Gives it to Thomas Muller, who fires one over. But again, Musiala, really instrumental in the way Bayern Munich plays. Looked brilliant tonight. And then Muller cannons one over. Really just needs to be more composed in that situation, Thomas Muller. Surprised to see him rush that. Nunes Mendes in behind, played in by Mbappe. Mendes across to Mbappe, and they've found their goal. PSG, it was inevitable. Kylian Mbappe scores. PSG 1, Bayern Munich 1. I think it was Neymar that played that ball through to Nuno Mendes. Mbappe makes the run beyond. He squares it to Mbappe, and he's just smashed it into the back of the net. And that is a big goal for PSG. But no real surprise there. Can't say I'm stunned to see Kylian Mbappe on the score sheet. It's sort of what you expect. Mbappe scores for PSG. Ties back level. PSG 1, Bayern Munich 1. But yeah, Nuno Mendes really, really quick. Burst down that left. Plays into Mbappe. Good finish from the Frenchman. VAR having a look. It's offside. It's offside. Goal has been disallowed. PSG, it's ruled out for offside. After all of that. I believe that's what the call's been anyway. Wow. Yeah, Nuno Mendes was just off. Yeah, he's offside. Mbappe was on, but it's Nuno Mendes, the assistee, who did not time his run. PSG goal chalked off. And that'll be very frustrating for PSG. And for Kylian Mbappe. And for everyone with Kylian Mbappe in their UCL fantasy teams. I'm not one of them, so I'm quite content. Sane holds off the PSG PSG player as well. Gnabry trying to come down this right. Fabian does well, but he now challenges Nuno Mendes, and that is giving us a PSG free kick. 7 minutes left, plus whatever is allotted for additional time. Interesting this, isn't it? Interesting how this game is panning out. The story keeps twisting and turning at every step. That's how it tends to play in the Champions League. But yeah, goal disallowed for offside. They're very quick with their VAR decisions. Quite glad they are. But yeah, Neymar, Messi, Verratti, Messi, Mbappe. Neymar brings it under his control nicely. Nuno Mendes turns Serge Gnabry. Brilliant from Nuno Mendes. He bursts forward. Mendes, Messi, and there's a big block. But Bayern are holding on by the skin of their teeth at this point. A PSG goal seems inevitable. Nuno Mendes is causing all sorts of problems down this left-hand side. Brilliant bit of footwork, and it's a massive block from Benjamin Pavard, I believe it is, to deny Lionel Messi a goal in this Champions League game. Danjuma subbed on. Another big change in that for Tottenham, pushing potentially for a goal. Messi gets the ball in. Sommer, not confident, but he does manage to get it away from the PSG heads arriving at the back post. Just a little flick on with a punch away. Anyway, another corner at the opposite side, following Jan Sommer's attempt to get it away. Messi as a shot. I don't know why it was so tame. I imagine there was some sort of foul or something in the build-up. But yeah. Precious Monnier, welcome to the stream. Hi, mate. And man's like Akil. Hey, guys, well done on 1,200 subs. Thank you very much, Akil. Welcome back, mate. Yeah, we hit it yesterday, I think it was. Can't remember. Might be yesterday or the day before. I think it was yesterday, though. And yeah, it's a nice achievement. Hopefully, we can... well, I don't really know what we're looking to achieve this year. Would love for it to be 10k. That's a big effort, by the way. Vitinha, shot on goal, saved by Jan Sommer. Yeah, we'd love it for it to be like 10k, but... yeah, we'll see what happens this year. But mental, we're already 2 months of the way through this year. That's already like almost 20%, isn't it? Which is the best? Well, I guess who is the best young talent? Garnacho, Bejkatic, Hall, Lewis. If United, Liverpool, Chelsea, City. I don't know really. Hard to say. Really hard to say because a lot of young talents you haven't seen enough of. Like Garnacho's the one we've seen most of, I reckon. The Bejkatic has got a strong, he's got a lot of minutes recently. Rico Lewis as well, a lot of minutes recently. And Lewis Hall's been playing a lot this season. So, they're the four that have, the four you mentioned because they've played a lot of minutes. But it's really hard to judge who's got the best young talent, especially when all of them don't play the same position. In fact, only Lewis Hall and Bejkatic play the same position. So, and even then, a lot of Hall's minutes have come at left back. So, yeah. Pavard, Goretzka, across to it. In terms of who has the highest ceiling, I'd say Lewis Hall because I think because Chelsea promote talents, he's more likely to end up in playing for Chelsea because they'll hand him more minutes. I think Garnacho is clearly a very talented player, but so it's close between those two. I think Rico Lewis, though, the fact he's getting so many minutes for City is a positive, but I could see him play. I think he'll play in the Premier League definitely, but I don't know if he'll play for City. But he definitely could. He's got the talent. And then Bejkatic seems to be already starting for Liverpool. So they're all brilliant players. They're all very good talents. But yeah, it's impossible to judge. PSG guy's coming any moment now. You would imagine so, but it doesn't seem that way currently. Nothing seems to be falling for them. We are seeing a replay. These what are they called? AI generated offsides. So much easier, aren't they? Like they know instantly. No 5-minute VAR checks where they forget to draw the lines on and all that. Let's please implement this into the Premier League next year. Much quicker than VAR. Because VAR just go, yeah, what's the AI think? Off, brilliant, sorted. Rather than fanning about trying to draw lines on and then inevitably he's either off by an inch or there's some sort of controversy surrounding it. Anyway, Bayern coming forward now. Alphonso Davies, cut out by Ramos, the ball centrally. Sane loses possession as well. And now Kylian Mbappe, Neymar picks it up. And he's going to play it forward. Fabian wasn't really aware of the run, he's too busy looking backwards. So to see the ball come forwards. PSG guys coming any moment now. Bejkatic will get a lot of minutes for the rest of the season. Yeah, you imagine. Garnacho and Lewis have cemented themselves for lots of first team appearances. Yeah. But I think Garnacho's underwhelmed me recently. A lot of people spend time with Champions League rather than spending it with their families. Yeah, I know, it's literally Valentine's Day. And rather than going out and, I don't know, I haven't got a Valentine, but yeah. Rather than spending it with anyone, I'm sat here watching what has been quite an enjoyable game. But, I wouldn't change it. I won't have it any other way. Love streaming. It's been a brilliant evening. Love spending it with all of you. But, yeah. I guess that's why certain people aren't here tonight. They are probably hanging out with their Valentines. So they're choosing not to tune into the Football Chat stream. Which is quite frankly disgraceful. Because that's a brilliant way to tell whether the person you like is right for you. If you just put on the Football Chat and if they're a fan... They're good, but if not, put them off instantly. VAR denied Chelsea some goals in their last game. Well, yeah, that should have been a stonewall penalty. If you tuned in on Saturday, you'd have seen me and Harry ranting about it, but it was horrific. Suddenly coming off, by the way, for Josip Stanisic, a player I hadn't heard of before this season, but he has been brilliant. Has been brilliant so far this season. in the minutes he's got. Josip Stanisic seems a decent young talent. The Croatian fullback. Off Meccano. Kimmich. Delit. We are about to get news on added time, and it's going to be 4 additional minutes to see out this game. Can PSG find a goal to level up this tie, or will Bayern Munich take this tie back to the Allianz with a 1 goal virtual potential, even a 2? You never know. At the moment, it looks like PSG, because they're in a high position here. Neymar tries to feed it through to Mbappe, but it doesn't come off, and now Bayern can go the other way. Free goalkeeper into the week. Great save. Yeah, I know. The VAR guy's been given a week off, I think, for that call. And the other one retired. The one who made a mess, forgot to draw the lines on or something. There's the one who forgot to draw the lines on at Arsenal Brentford, wasn't there? Lee Mason. I think he's retired. Now he's already retired from refereeing. He's just doing VARing, and after that massive cock up, he's no longer doing VARing. But yeah. PSG coming forward. Messi, massive tackle from Pavard. It's been given as a free kick. And a yellow card. I think that is harsh. Oh, it's a red. It's a second yellow. And he's off. Pavard's off. I didn't realise he was on a yellow card. Benjamin Pavard picked up a second yellow card, and he will miss the second leg. That puts Bayern down to 10 men. There we go. Red card graphic. Was not expecting a red card this evening, but there we go. Why is it every time I'm straying by myself we see a red card? It's a curse. We've done 3 recently. We did Southampton, Newcastle, and who got sent off in that one? Bruno Guimaraes. We did the other Southampton, Newcastle, where Southampton got sent off. Lyanko, wasn't it? And now, Bayern versus PSG. Pavard gets sent off. Neymar. Headed away. Neymar puts it back into the box. Headed goalwards by Ramos, but it's onto the roof of the net. I think it was Ramos. Yes, it was indeed. Yeah, Pavard off for that tackle. I didn't really think it was a foul, but I only saw it real time, so maybe if I viewed a replay, I'd agree with the referee, but yeah. That is a yellow, alright. Thank you, XZ. I've got a yellow in the 26th minute, so clear to see why you forgot. I'll admit I didn't realise either. Yeah, no. Good job the referee makes a note of them. I'd have no clue. That's why I'm not a referee. I'd have forgotten. Gnabry. Good tackle. Wins the ball off Verratti, half the pitch, and now Bayern are coming forward. A minute left. The thing is, as much as this isn't like... You can't... As much as PSG want to go, you can't throw everything at game. Because if you do concede, you put yourself in a very tough spot heading to the Allianz. In 3 weeks. That's a foul from Kimpembe. He needs to be careful to where he's on a yellow card. Because there's a second red there in this game. Gravenberch brought down, and now it's going to be a free kick. A minute left to play. Bayern need to just manage this because they could throw everyone forward. I doubt they will because they're going to want to... Much as a second goal would be huge, not conceding is much bigger. Much more important. Kimmich now. Quite a few forward to be fair, but equally PSG have everyone back. Milan still 1-0 up with 6 additional minutes in that game. Kimmich sends it goalwards, and it's claimed by Donnarumma, and he's going to send it the other way, and now PSG can attack. Fabian. That's very smart from Gravenberch, who's picked up the ball out the pitch. I thought the referee was going to let that play, but apparently not. But more waste of time because he took a shot. Just so smart. So smart from Gravenberch, because if it goes in, VAR might actually judge, you know what, that's not a foul. Goal stands. It doesn't. It didn't go in. It was ordered a free kick, but yeah. And that is the end of the game here in Paris. PSG 0, Bayern 1. That is a very disappointing result for the home side. Bayern will be buzzing, but they will be without Benjamin Pavard for the second leg. I'm going to throw on the Tottenham Milan game for the remaining time here, and then we'll call it an evening. If you're given the opportunity to be a ref for a full game, what game would you officiate? Something I'm not going to die. Something like Bournemouth versus... I was going to say Wimbledon. I feel like they've got some pretty mental fans. Who's a nice Oldham? I don't think they've got any... I don't think there's any Oldham ultras. So I'll do that. So that they'll all just be quite calm A lot of old people just sat about, quite happy. Not going to get too annoyed if I make a wrong call. I'm not going to say, yeah, let's do the Milan derby, where, you know, I accidentally give a penalty to AC when it shouldn't have been, and then there's Inter fans charging me after the game, and flares getting flung at me. Yeah, I don't want that. I'll just take a game where it's an easy job. Tottenham, by the way, come forwards here. Harry Kane, big block there from Kier, just forces him wide, and then Richarlison goes down, and he does a couple rolls, doesn't fool the referee, and now AC Milan are coming forwards. And it's cut out by Oliver Skipp, is that? The fact Oliver Skipp is starting in the Champions League, by the way, is disgraceful. It's actually disgraceful. And that should be a criminal offence. Actually, criminal offence. I'm going to end the poll in chat as well, since that game is now concluded now. But yeah. Well done, Bayern. Indeed. Good first leg result for Bayern Munich. I think they'll be quite content. They can now, you know, focus on the league for a couple of weeks and then head back to the Allianz. But yeah. Watch the stream. Aquilina McKenzie joins with a simple thumbs up. Welcome. But yeah, a minute and a half left to go here at the San Siro. Perisic heads back to Romero, who heads home, and now Tottenham will hold on to possession. I said draw. What, in... Are you one of the people that said draw in the poll in chat? Yeah. One of the 3%. I backed Bayern. I was spot on. I'm part of the 44%, which wasn't the majority today. Chat, you were wrong thinking PSG would win, but... yeah. Anyway, Romero on the ball now. They've got to go long here, Tottenham, to try and get a goal in the last minute here. They won't be too annoyed because Tottenham, unlike PSG, Tottenham are going home to this for the second leg. And it is only one goal to make up, so much as they want a goal now, they're going to just want to make sure they don't give away a goal. I can't wait for Chelsea's game, but I prefer to watch the women's team than suffer with the men. Yeah, Precious. I mean, watching Chelsea women at the moment is very exciting. Watching the Chelsea men is exciting, but also very sad. But I'm confident for tomorrow night. I feel like we can definitely get a good result. Whether that we might not win, but as long as we play well, and that's all that really matters. And we don't get embarrassed because we've got a second leg. We've got to remember that. So if we only lose 1-0 or draw 1-0, I'm very happy with tomorrow night. And then we can obviously go back to Stamford Bridge and see what we get there. But yeah, I'm confident we could get a really, really good result and a really good performance. But you never know. I think Dortmund win. Yeah, you've said XZ, which is disgraceful. Bannable offence. And there we go. That is full time here in Milan as well. Summary for tonight's games then. PSG could not find a way through, but Bayern did get a goal and they were able to win 1-0 away in Paris. And Milan were able to win 1-0 here in Milan. It took a goal. It took a complete moment of a lapse of concentration for Tottenham. A moment that is so Tottenham of just the ball bouncing around, no one dealing with it, everyone jumping about, and then bundled home by Brahim Diaz. But he got the important goal, and that does make a difference. They are 1-0 heading in to the second leg. These ties will be played again in 3 weeks, so and we will be live for them, obviously. So yeah. Anyway, in terms of streams coming up, we are live tomorrow, we are live Thursday, we are live Saturday. We've got 3 more streams in the next 4 days, so look out for all of them. So yeah, should be a very exciting week of football tomorrow. We've got our first ever double up where we are going to be putting out on 2 televisions, watching both games at the same time. And we should have a guest as well if all goes to plan. Ollie will be returning. It's been a while since he was on the show, but yeah. FIFA have confirmed that US, Mexico and Canada have ultimately qualified for the 2026 World Cup. Well, I'm going to end on that note, I guess. Yeah, what a night of Champions League action. It's great to be back with the Champions League. We'll be back tomorrow night with more UCL as well as Premier League. It's a little earlier. We'll be live from 7:20 tomorrow for the early kickoff of Arsenal versus Manchester City. But yeah, that is all from us today. Thank you all very much for watching, and we will see you next time.